6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. It's game week for the Titans as they take on the 49ers in Santa Clara Thursday night for preseason game number 1. There's no practice today as it's a travel day, but we'll have joint practice tomorrow with the 49ers. Yesterday, the first unofficial depth chart of training camp dropped. 6 wide receivers were listed at the top, with Bryce Oliver being the 6th. Cordell Volson is listed as the starting right guard, with rookie Fernando Carmona listed as the backup. Austin Schlottman is the starting center. Gunnar Helm is listed as the starting tight end over Daniel Bellinger. And Mohamed Diabate is listed as the 3rd starting linebacker over rookie Anthony Hill Jr. NFL news over the weekend. The Lions, they're signing veteran quarterback Josh Dobbs to a 1-year, $1.425 million deal with $475,000 fully guaranteed. The signing comes after Teddy Bridgewater announced his retirement. And Nashville SC had a dominant 4-1 win last night over Atlético de San Luis in their Leagues Cup match. Christian Espinoza netted a brace, and Sam Surridge as well as Reed Baker-Whiting scored on the sheet. Nashville ends Phase 1 of Leagues Cup when they face CF Montreal at Geodis Park this Wednesday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Break it easy once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Good morning. We are kicking off a brand new week on 104.5 The Zone. Happy Monday. This week, the Tennessee Titans are going to play a football game. They had a practice yesterday, a scrimmage on Friday with many of you in the building. We have our takeaways, thoughts, musings. Cam Ward is trending in the right direction. We'll tell you how this morning. VolQuest's Austin Price joins us for an early Monday visit at 8:20. And we have a depth chart to break down. We've also got a whole crew in studio for the last time until Friday when we react to Thursday's preseason game. The 11-year NFL veteran and Titans radio analyst, Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins, our producer. Myself, Will Bowling. On this Monday, August the 10th. What's up?
What up, man? We're good. Happy Monday. Happy new week. Happy start of the week. I had this conversation with my wife. What's the start of the week to you, Monday or Sunday?
Start of the work week is Monday. Okay. The start of the week is Sunday.
Is it? Okay. See, we didn't really split that hair right there. I was just like, no, Monday's the start of the week for me. I never, Sunday always ended it for me because of football life,
I've never really thought of it very much, honestly.
Me, there's just one of those little small conversations like, what do you mean Monday's the start? It's like, what do you mean Sunday is? And it was just a little back and forth, just like, well, I told her my reason why. I was just like, well, Sunday always started it for me. When I played, Sunday was the end of the week. I think Friday's the end of the work week, and Sunday and Saturday is just closing it out. And then Monday's a new start. So
Fair.
That's kind of the way I've always looked at it. But either way, happy Monday, good people.
Yes, sir. Happy Monday. Great Saturday for you and for so many kids around Middle Tennessee. Loved the videos, the photos from your father and Prince's, everybody involved. A great, great event on Saturday. How was it?
Man, it was really good. I was filled. I felt like Saturday, man, just being there, being around them. But first and foremost, man, again, thank everybody that contributed, tweeted it, spread the word, donated anything to the cause or even thought about doing it, because a lot of people were taken care of this past weekend. Last year we did about 62 kids, if I'm not mistaken, are right at 60. This year we did 120.
Wow. That's awesome.
The goal was $5,500. We ended up raising over $7,600. Friday night, which is even cooler, there was another shout out to my guy Robbie Van Norman at Jewel Roofing, man. He dropped another 1,000 in on it last night. And then there was more people putting it in too. Nashville, surrounding areas, man, thank y'all for pouring into it. All of these funds went to families who needed it. And these kids, man, had bright smiles on their face. Brother Hawkins showed up, and he saw some of it as well this past weekend. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. Prince's was most definitely one of the best hosts that you could have. They had a piano player in there I recognized later. He was doing some he was playing the piano, and I recognized how he was texting on his phone, and he was blind. So imagine playing the keyboard or the piano, and you have your vision impaired. So I thought that was really sweet as well. I gave a quick speech, man, and got out the way and let From Your Father do their thing. Great partnership, man. I can't wait to see what we do next year. If we doubled it from 25 to 26, 26 to 27, we got to triple it. So it was awesome.
Awesome. Well, good on you for paying it forward and being involved in this community as you always are. And that's great stuff, man. It's a good way to spend a weekend.
New shoes, man. The families were appreciative. I saw some families from last year to this year. It's a set of twins, two set of twins from different families that showed up. They had grown up a whole lot more, man. Hey, listen, it was real cool to see the families kind of reintroduce themselves. It was like, no, I remember you from last year. And it went to a great, great cause. I think they start school today. So, fresh kicks hit the floor. Hopefully their brains are thinking properly because they shouldn't have to worry about their feet at all, man.
There we go.
Appreciate you letting me highlight that,
Absolutely.
man. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Yesterday, we got a depth chart. The official, unofficial depth chart. Ramon, for you as someone who played in this league for 11 years, how much did you guys care about the first unofficial depth chart?
A lot.
Really?
I cannot lie to you. A lot, Will. We minimize it because we're supposed to be locked in. The coaches try to paint that picture of this means nothing. Stop, coach. Stop it. Stop. Don't lie to me. Not today. My job's on the line. You wanted to be within the ones and twos, man, and especially if you're like an only position player. So I'm an only position player and play on the offensive line. I need to see myself in the ones and twos. I'll be with the threes, Will, but I better be with the twos as well. Like, it was the way it kind of set your mindset up going into camp. Like, now I have seen situations where being with the threes or later, guys kind of walk themselves up. Injuries kind of happen. Some dudes don't perform well in stadiums. But those first two lines, man, I'm going to be honest with you, they go a long way into realizing where you are on the team. That's what this is. Because somebody lightly put this together. There's some truth and reality in it. And, like, this is your job. Even in college, like, we used to sneak into the coach's meeting room while they weren't there to see what the depth chart was. Coach Foreman, if you listening this morning, I'm sorry, but we needed to know, okay, especially as freshmen. And there's a bragging rights that come with it. But it's also guys want to be judged in football. Like, I know this is a free space. Like, we want to be judged, Will. We want to know that whatever I think I'm doing, you also see it. And only way to really recognize that is through the depth chart.
That's really interesting to hear because I feel like when players are asked any sort of question about this, they give company line answers. And players are very good at hiding how much they care about something that is really more for the fans as much, if not more, than it is for the coaches and for the players.
No, it's for us as well. Because again, this is competition. This is livelihood for the guys in the NFL and in the college world too. You don't want to seem like that you're being overlooked. That's the thing that I think that's most important on the college level. Like, if I'm with the threes or fours, I'm overlooked. Like, if I'm a young guy, cool. Like, maybe as a freshman or sophomore, I'm trying to figure out where I am. But like going into that sophomore, junior year, you really need to be working with the twos, pushing up on the ones, or have your name split. Will Bolin / Ramon Foster at wide receiver. Like, that's where the importance of the position comes into play. And then the other part we've spoken about as well, like the whole counting numbers side of training camp. Like, I think I asked B-Hop, we talked to Delaney a little bit, I think off air, about like the counting numbers side of this thing. It gets real. You're in training camp with 90, 91 players. They only keeping 53. Some version of this from whoever set this up is reality. And I need to figure out how I can move up and coach. Where am I available to make this team right here? And that's the scary part of this part of training camp moving forward. When this depth chart is kind of released, those camp worries, your eyes get a little darker, Will. Your thoughts get a little
Spider-Man.
Yeah, like, no, seriously. It turned like your mind goes in a different place.
Sure.
The day-to-day like operation of practice you'll see guys that hadn't really run down on like scout kickoff return, trying to figure out how can they be on scout kickoff return.
Well, and this week is always so interesting to me too, in the first preseason game week, because there will be players who we have not spoken as much about who have a monster day on Thursday against the San Francisco 49ers, or even tomorrow in a joint practice against the San Francisco 49ers, who will put themselves in a better position to make the team. On the flip side, unfortunately, there are probably also a few players who have been great at the Vanderbilt Health Football Center who you will not see make as many plays in a preseason game. So really, this is the first big checkpoint in who's making this team and who is not. And the depth chart is an interesting part of that dialogue. I just find it very interesting how important you say this is in locker rooms, because I feel like fans and really media get in the habit of, when a depth chart like this that is unofficial comes out during the first preseason game week, we very quickly belittle it and downplay it.
Yeah.
You were telling me that in the locker room, it's not totally being downplayed.
No, it's not totally been downplayed. Not even a little bit, man. Like, case in point, I will look at the now this one's kind of interesting to me, but you have at the right guard position, Cordell Volson.
Yeah.
Then a rookie.
Fernando Carmona is the backup behind Cordell Volson at right guard. Jackson Slater is listed as the backup behind Peter Skoronski at left guard.
I personally would have had that flipped. Okay, just thinking about it, looking at it. One guy been here. Now, again, both of these guys probably should or will make the team. The way I look at Jackson Slater and also Fernando Carmona, if I'm Junior Carmona, Fernando Carmona Jr., I'm looking at this situation like, hell yeah. They got me at twos behind the ones. Like, and there's the other part though as well, Will. Like, if I'm Fernando Carmona or Jackson Slater, I am looking at Cordell Volson and going, hey, can we kind of sneak in on this one?
Fernando Carmona is getting more opportunities, right?
I know he is. I'm seeing it. I know we can't.
I know fans may have seen in the background of the Titans video of Gunnar Helm's touchdown in the back of the end zone on Friday in the blue and white scrimmage. Fernando Carmona was one of the guys who came up there to celebrate with him.
Yes, he was.
And the only way you do that is if you were on the field.
If you on the field with him. Again, Will, it's not real, this depth chart, but the practice habits, the reps, who you do the reps with, they kind of show the reality of it as well. And I'll even go a step further. You're looking at on the defensive side of this thing, Jermaine Johnson's at DN. Femi hadn't really played. But then you last year, that is. But you also have guys behind him, Truman Jones and Malik Herring, that play the same position. Femi's too deep. If I'm looking at Malik Herring and Truman Jones, I'm like, okay, how do I upseat Femi or get more notice in Femi? Like, it applies just a little bit of pressure to the moment, Will, is what I would say.
Starting tight end Gunnar Helm over Daniel Bellinger, I found interesting. Not surprising, but interesting. I think some have made Bellinger out to be more of an all-around blocker, starter, knows the system, but Gunnar Helm at least begins this process as the starting tight end. There is a clear divide at wide receiver from the top 6 to the next guys. Yeah. And to me, it feels right now like the guys who are in are the top 6 on the depth chart. Carnell Tate and Wan'Dale Robinson, with Calvin Ridley as starters. Immediately behind them, Elikai Manor, Chimray DK, Bryce Oliver.
Yeah.
Feels like your 6 wide receivers that are going to make the roster right there. The next 3 guys, Xavier Restrepo, KJ Osborne, and Courtney Jackson. Austin Deculus is Dan Moore's backup at left tackle. Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon listed as the starter, or not starter, listed as the backup, I should say. I was going to say the starter behind J.C. Latham, which I guess makes sense too. Pat Coogan, third string center. Andre James still the backup. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Running back, Tony Pollard as the starter, ahead of Tajay Spears. Behind them, Julius Chestnut, Michael Carter, Khalil Mullings, Nick Singleton. Shall I continue, or should we take a pause there?
I would say take a pause there. Think about that group of 3 at running back. Like, we've kind of seen Khalil Mullings reps. Like, he looks well. We've seen over the years, Julius Chestnut, but then I also view Nick Singleton's situation as just like, well, he's just a rookie. Like, I don't see him as far down as Julius and Khalil just simply because Nick Singleton's new. Rookies probably going to be back that far most times regardless of it. Those last two guys got to figure out how Julius Chestnut and Khalil Mullins need to figure out how they're going to upseat Michael Carter, or where are they going to beat him out on special teams. Like, it ain't real. Like, this unofficial depth chart isn't real. It just holds a lot of conversations that can be real if you allow them to. It
needs to elicit a response.
It does.
If you are on the outside looking in. This is where the rubber starts to meet the road. I did find it interesting. Michael Carter, speaking of him, is listed as the backup kick returner, which would give him another platform to potentially make this team. Mahmoud Diabate, a starter at linebacker ahead of Anthony Hill Jr. I don't think there's any big surprise there. Cody Barton, Cedric Gray is the other two starters with James Williams and Dorian Mausi behind them. And then at defensive end, you mentioned Femi Oladejo is Jermaine Johnson's backup. Keldrick Falk is Jacob Martin's backup. And again, I don't think either of those are particularly surprising at this point.
Kind of glad that not glad that Jacob Martin's in that role, but the signing of Jacob Martin didn't really go over the top the way Jermaine Johnson's did, right? Or almost anybody else for that matter. And Jacob Martin has had a real good camp. He's shown you his skill set in a lot of different ways in these practices. And you kind of see his threat, man, of being on the team. And then, of course, the other side of it, too, well, he's a 9-year vet. That's the part of this defense that you really want to hang your hat on when it boils down to where will they start the season off. It's guys with a lot of experience.
615-737-1045, our number. Live for the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. We give you thoughts from a Friday scrimmage in Nissan Stadium, a Sunday practice at the Vanderbilt Health Football Center after this. The Titans had a scrimmage in Nissan Stadium on Friday, a practice yesterday. We have thoughts, and you might as well. Around 12,000 people in the building in Nissan Stadium Friday night for the blue and white scrimmage. If you liked what you saw, if you got takeaways, we got time for you. 615-737-1045, our number. Ramon Foster, your number one takeaway from Friday's blue and white scrimmage at Nissan Stadium was what?
Offense impressive. That's just the best way to kind of put it, say it, without doing too much as we go deeper into this topic. But offense was impressive. I thought from the beginning towards the end of it as well. The guys that you wanted to see step up did. Cam looked good. Ain't no other way around it. I'm going to stop beating around the bush. Cam looked damn good. And that's just okay to say. I know the worry of, hey, will he have a reset? Yes, he will have a reset moment. He'll have a bad moment. He'll have probably a terrible moment. But as far as running this offense, knowing where the ball is going, you can't sit here and either look at the reports from this past blue and white scrimmage or watch him in stadium and say, yeah, no, he ain't got no better. This offense didn't do well. Damn that. He looked good. The moments in which he had to get outside of the pocket, I ain't going to lie to you, on the broadcast a little bit, I was like, don't do that, Cam. Next thing you know, he did what Coach Salas said he wanted him to do in those moments. He scrambled, got out of the harm's way, and found an open guy. He didn't throw it into traffic. Who was that he found on the scramble? Was it? It was.
I believe it was Tajay Spears.
Tajay, yes, It was Tajay.
I mean, there are a couple times where he found Tajay Spears scrambling.
Now, risky, of course. Why do we like the hero? Right? We enjoyed the risk. Like, the risk is what makes it fun. That's what we're speaking about when it came down to Cam. His ability to run the offense, and when you have to have it, pull out the Mahomes, pull out the Josh Allen, pull out the whoever, the Lamar Jackson, right? Pull all of that out after you run the offense. And I feel like he took that step, or he's taking that step in year 2 under Coach Dable.
According to Jim Wyatt, in the Friday scrimmage, Cam Ward was 23 of 30 with a touchdown drive and 2 field goal drives. Another one would have been a field goal if Joey Sly had not missed at the end of the possession. Jim Wyatt wrote at TennesseeTitans.com, Ward's best throw of the night was a ball in the back of the end zone that was hauled in for a touchdown. What specifically did you like the most about the way Cam Ward performed on Friday?
The accuracy of the passing, the timing. I thought all of that played into it. I thought the offensive line held up for him as much as they possibly could until the second half when Jeffrey Simmons got upset.
He had 2 sacks of the night.
Yeah, he did. But I thought the entire operation of the offense, the other part, though, too, that I loved, and if you're going to listen to us on the broadcast, I promise you this is going to be a part of it because it's so obvious as far as we like breaking down the play. You know what I was impressed with Cam? One, I think the 5 a.m. get to the building regimen that he's had is paying off. Like, it's one thing to get to the building for busy work, Will, just to show, hey, I'm in the building. Everyone, look at me. I know some guys that were like that. They just wanted the coaches to see them. Like, that's the psychological side of being a pro and understanding how to play the game. Some guys also get to the building as pros and they watch tape. They study the playbook. They try to understand all parts of the offense or defense for that matter. And I feel like that's where Cam is. For him to be taking on his second offensive playbook from Coach Brian Callahan, heck, might have even been a third with depending upon what Coach McCoy did later last season. But this is his second full playbook in his second year, and it seems to me he has the entire playbook understanding down pat. And for this reason right here, Will, now the shot clock or the game clock was going on. The way I saw Cam pre-snap undress the defense, hard, say, ha! Easy. He was audible, checking. He's looking side to side. He walked the clock down because eventually, here's a beautiful part about undressing the defense, the pre-snap motions, the pre-snap movement. The defense has to go where they're going to be at the end of the play. If you got safeties close towards the line of scrimmage, they got to drop if they're dropping. The corner that's on the outside that's bluffing whether he's going to blitz or not, by the time the clock hit 5, he's got to be creeping or he's got to be dropping back. And I thought Cam's control and understanding of that was the reason that they had success. Well, it was fun to watch him just kind of be like an orchestrator of it. Like, he's just up there just waiting for the drums to drop, and that was a beautiful part to me.
It was really impressive. I think that's a great point and a great place to start. And that also starts with them getting out of the huddle more quickly.
True.
And getting to the line with much quicker tempo than they used to.
Can I say something real quick? Having did that last year, I almost felt like it was the Vols offense. To be real with you. Like, we were doing now, again, we got to get a flow.
We did a abbreviated version of a broadcast over the PA system in Nissan Stadium.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this offense is moving kind of fast. It's not much room to breathe right here.
No.
It felt like a sped up style of offense, which is, again, a weapon for the offense if they don't have negative plays, Will, because they got to get set.
They're not snapping it as quickly as Tennessee does, and no one is expecting them to. But the tempo feels a lot faster.
Yeah.
And some of that is also just, Ramon, that they were so slow and took so long getting out of the huddle last season.
Yeah, no doubt.
And there's only so many checks that you can make and adjustments that you can make if you're Cam Ward when you're consistently clapping and getting out of the huddle with 12 seconds on the play clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally agree. I think that's one thing that's encouraging at this point. Cam Ward completed 11 of his first 12 passes. His only incompletion in his first 2 drives was a quick pass to the outside to Wan'Dale Robinson that was barely incomplete. He started 3 for 3 for 45 yards in the opening drive. A Tate one-handed catch, a big highlight there as well, a 21-yard gain. But just going down the list of this second drive, the touchdown drive that Cam Ward led at the very beginning of this practice. Complete to Gunnar Helm for 8 yards. Scramble drill, great throw to find a wide-open Spears on 3rd and 3. Check down to Pollard for 3. Cam complete to Pollard for 3 more. Tackle made by James Williams. Cam complete for 20 yards. Great job of finding a wide-open back again. I mean, like, just over and over and over. That was a 16-yard completion to Tony Pollard on that 3rd down. Cam, quick, complete to Wan'Dale Robinson. Sets up 3rd and 5. Complete to Tate for 10. Rolled out, found him on the sideline versus Flott. Down to the 5. And then Cam Ward, Gunnar Helm, 5-yard TD over Cody Barton. Perfectly placed at the back of the end zone. He was surgical.
Yeah, he was.
And then he did it again yesterday. And he and Cardell Tate had 3 touchdown connections by the first half of practice ending yesterday. Ramon, this is 3 straight times that we have now seen Cam Ward and been pretty pleased. How big of a deal is the progression that he is making right now? Because I feel like we are starting to see a different version of Cam Ward than we did at the very beginning of training camp.
You just don't want to be the same player that you were in previous years. And I think that's what he's proven to, I think, this coaching staff and to his teammates as well. It's just like, this isn't who we're trying to be, what you saw last year. And I think it's significant because he plays the most important position at quarterback. Like, we put a lot of pressure on the idea that position right there is going to be your football Lord and Savior week in and week out. And he's proven to, I guess, to myself, you, and others that got an opportunity to watch him, like, yeah, I do this. Like, everything that I said, how brash I am about my approach is for a reason. I think we're seeing a benefit of it right now. And I'm not saying there's anything bad with it whatsoever. I've just always been of the mindset, if you're going to be that type, then you have to be that type all the time. And then also, don't just make it about you, make it about your teammates. And I think that's the version that you're getting from him. Like, the way he approaches challenging his teammates, them going over the top with after practice drills, the pre-practice, where you hear, who is it, Coach Salas, and there's guys in the film room watching tape with him. This is the attitude that was drafted here as well. Like, how great Cam becomes as a player, we'll see that on the field. But here's what I do know. There have been lesser players on teams that have played significant roles as far as resetting a franchise. And that seemed to be what Cam is doing on the field, and also his approach to pushing his teammates and also believing in them as well. Well, like, I'm enjoying what this is showing so far, just on the basis that, like, you're getting a real opportunity to see the production of it, at least against his own teammates at this point in time.
I feel more confident about Cam Ward heading into his second season today than I did 1 week ago.
Yeah.
Not a major difference, but Ramon, he's showing the kind of improvements I needed to see out of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's accurate with the football when he puts his foot in the ground and makes the decision on where he's going to go.
Yeah.
his decision-making is improving. He's not taking as many risks. He's not turning the ball over as much. And he is showing the mobility and the escapability out of the pocket that we all want to see from him as well. It's 1 week. It's 3 practices in a row. Obviously, a scrimmage that is a part of that as well. But today, I think Cam Ward is trending in the right direction heading into a pivotal second season.
We had a commenter in the chat that just put this in there. Yes, he's showing franchise quarterback traits. Like you said it, I've said it. Like that's the summary of it all right there. And here's the thing though too that's been impressive about it. Like it's not overly flashy either. Like it's just do the job, move on. Again, when it's boring, it's good. And it looked a little boring on this past weekend, except it was ended with some excitement as well. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It wasn't always boring. I mean, no. I just think he needs to be more content making the boring play more than he did last year.
For sure.
But that still doesn't mean it's boring.
The one thing, if we're going to talk about a negative, though, too, was it was a positive for the Titans. Very positive. But the halftime interview that Jeffrey Simmons had with Brad Hopkins and Delaney Walker, I was like, oh, Jeff is ticked off.
He said in an interview on the Jumbotron and on the PA that the defense did not play up to their standards and that they were going to get it corrected.
Yeah.
They did get it corrected a little bit in the second half of the scrimmage.
So for the defense, amazing.
And the defense technically did win the scrimmage.
They did.
There was a field goal drive, a Joey Sly field goal at the very end of this thing. Joey Sly missed 2 field goals on the night, and from 47 tied it, and then they had a 2-point conversion attempt to win it. And Marcus Harris deflected a pass at the line of scrimmage to win the scrimmage.
Big time play also by him in that moment to stand down in that moment. Like that's a real situational football moment by Marcus Harris, and I thought that was super unique, man, for a sudden death moment. But the one part that was awesome for the Titans when Jeff, I realized, was turning the knob up a little bit was the defense. When they decide to turn it on, they can. They will, and they did. We've seen this in training camp practices, Will, have we not? When Jeff is challenging them and they win. But offensively, now I know Jeff's one of the best D tackles in the league, if not the best D tackle. But when he says what he said over the PA system and he also does it, like, the next step for this OL group or this offense is how do you stop a guy like him moving forward? Because he was effective. He was talking a lot of trash, and he somewhat kind of put a cap on the offense just slightly. Not a lot, but how do you respond to that moving forward? Like offensively. Like it was a difference. And you don't want those lags in offensive production because one guy decides to turn it on.
Really the only difference in this scrimmage between the offense and the defense was the missed field goal part of it.
Yeah.
Because without that, then this would have been an offensive win.
Mm-hmm.
So with a missed field goal, the defense gets 1 point. And, I mean, really, kicking was the difference.
It was. And I was a little shocked by that one. We saw in the pre-practice kicks that Joey Sly was doing. What was he hitting them from, like 54, Will? Like, it was pretty solid.
I think more than that.
Wind was up a little bit at times, but, like, when you miss them far left or far right, then you got to start questioning what the heck is going on.
He was no good from 48 and 53. I think the concerning thing, too, is that he was short from 53.
Yeah, that's...
Last season, he wouldn't have been short from 63.
Not even. And I'm not sure what it is. Maybe, again, he has a new holder this year. I'm not going to blame him whatsoever, but that operation.
They've been working together, though.
That's what I was going to say. They've been working together for a while in training camp. Was that report true of them working out Younghoe Koo?
They worked out 3 kickers this weekend. Younghoe Koo, John Hoyland, and John Parker Romo.
Is that Tony Romo's son?
No, it is not.
But that, again, tells you the pressures of training camp as well. Like, they will quickly, when we were talking about this depth chart side of things, like, it becomes more and more real the closer and closer you get to playing in games and actually start doing game plans as well. The kicking situation, and here's the bottom line, too, for, like, Joey Sly. No, Emmy, don't ever go at this long snapper like that. We're talking about one of the best long snappers in the world. Okay?
Why are we blaming a 17-year vet at long snapper for Joey Sly missing 2 field goals in a scrimmage? What are we talking about? That's newly minted father of 5, Morgan Cox. Congratulations to him and his wife on their fifth being born a couple weeks ago.
I'm talking about the state of the Tennessee
what are we talking
legend out
about?
here. Emmy, don't you
I will hear slander for a lot of folks. Morgan Cox is not one of them.
Never made the list, Will. Okay? Never made the slander list. But the issue that Joey has on the 50-yarders is I feel like how common it's become for each team to have a guy that bangs a 50-yard field goal like it's nothing. It's so common. And that's where you got to start saying to yourself, how do we continually steal points? As you said, if the offense gets stuck at like the 40-yard line, most teams are having a kicker that can bang out a 50-yarder.
It would be very unfortunate for them to have the offensive struggles they had last year and a great kicker and then become more functional on offense and competent on offense, and then they don't have a good kicker anymore.
Don't do that.
It's one practice. But honestly, it's not just one practice. I don't think that if this was an issue that had only popped up on Friday in the blue and white scrimmage, that they would be working out kickers.
Well, here's the thing.
You don't have just one bad practice.
Right.
Have you work out other kickers. If they're doing this, it means that they've seen other things that worry them.
Here's the thing. This ain't like the social media trend where we listen and we don't judge. Or we listen.
Training camp is for judging.
And we judge. Yeah, we do.
Training camp is for judging.
And they will find tryout guys as well.
615-737-1045 is our number. Some audio making the rounds yesterday from Titans offensive line coach Carmen Brasillo that you liked.
Loved.
We'll talk about it coming up next.
Get ready for one epic engagement ring event at Genesis Diamonds. You can mark your calendar, okay? August 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. For these 3 days, Genesis is bringing in the entire collection of both Tacori and Viraggio, the 2 most sought-after bridal designers in the world. Hundreds and hundreds of rings, all new styles, and during this once-a-year event, you can get a special incentive and save up to $5,000. And you know the names, Viraggio, handcrafted by true artisans and unmatched attention to detail. And Tacori, exquisite rings known for their hidden detail and timeless beauty. These are the finest American-made rings, distinctive, stylish, and handmade. Other jewelers are not even allowed to carry these premium brands, but Genesis has them, and we'll be showcasing the entire collection at this event. Genesis is also bringing in a fresh selection of GI-certified diamonds in every shape and size, direct from the cutters, so you can create your perfect ring from the ground up. Enjoy special event savings, incentives, 0% interest financing, up to $5,000 in savings. It's 3 days only, August 21st through the 23rd. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
The Tennessee Titans play football this week, and we will be there to bring it to you. Thursday night in Santa Clara, California. Very excited to debut a new sound of Titans radio with Ramon Foster in the broadcast booth, with Taylor Zarza, Rhett Bryan, Brad Hopkins, myself. We are going to have such a good time this week, and you are headed out there today.
Today, yeah, right back on NFL planes, man. I pinch myself sometimes this stuff. One, beyond blessed to be in this position to talk sports, something that we love for a living, but also, man, super appreciative of the Titans welcoming me in the way they have to do a job, man, and have some fun with this thing, man. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've been out in San Francisco as well. So it'd be kind of cool to see what the stadium looks like, if it's still the same, and what this competition going to look like on Tuesday.
As Rhett Bryan likes to say, we will be in the salt mine, as he says. He's like, I'm working in the salt mine on things for the broadcast, so we will be working on all those things and meet you guys out there. And, of course, somebody's got to hold down the ship here for our show as well, but it's going to be a good week. And we are excited to join you guys out there as soon as we can.
No doubt. It'll be a good thing. We'll try to hold it down as much as we possibly can.
So Carmen Brasillo spoke to the media yesterday, as did every Titans position coach. And this was an interesting answer from him about drills, about sled drills using humans to practice. What a concept yesterday. And it elicited an interesting reaction on social media that you were a part of. This was the original answer from Titans offensive line coach Carmen Brasillo via our teammate Buck Rising yesterday.
I like to do that when you have shoulder pads. So we'll do the Crowder sled at some point. Isaac and I have talked about it. But my time in the NFL, so many of the things that I work and develop were based off of Tante, even before I got to work with Scar. And I kind of take that like, hey, look, like it worked for him for a long time, and why not just pattern it after him? But I think to me about having a sled really comes down to the fact of efficiency. Like the drill that we did today in the O-line area, where am I going to go? Like I'm usually in an area, 30 yards by 30, like where are you going to push the sled to? Like, to do a group workup in that regard. If I have a one-man sled, I have 16 guys. How are we going to, we have 15 guys standing there, and I only have one guy working. So to me, it's number one has been about efficiency. If I can get it done without it, I'll do it without it.
That's Carmen Brasillo, Titans offensive line coach, speaking yesterday about the kind of teaching he likes to do. More human on human versus human on sled.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to this? And what's been your reaction watching the way Carmen Brasillo is teaching technique to a young Titans offensive lineman?
Since we saw him work, I've been ecstatic about the way the drills have looked. I've told you time and time again, we've been together in the practice. It's like, man, that's a real drill right there. Like they're working on real football specific things. The most important thing is he's trying to maximize these guys' time on the field too, because he's right, a one-man sled, two-man sled, like you're going to have 14 or 15 guys waiting. Having coaching high schoolers now that like wait on you per reps, like you waste their time by hitting a one-man or two-man sled like that, and it's better to do it man to a man, because the other part of it is, and I would say this, I think it's two different levels to it as well. At the pro level, they should know how to hit the sled, stay low, and move their feet for the most part. What you trying to specialize in the NFL is how can we maximize your talents to move over to the team periods and to the game roles as well. Hitting a stationary target like a sled, I'm not saying there's no benefit to it. There is a benefit to hitting the sled, but it doesn't benefit you in game. You should know how to move bodies. You should know how to step. You should know what contact feels like. Like that type of stuff I do at the high school level. I think you should do at the middle school level, some in the college. But when it comes down to what the NFL is, these guys are pros. And here's the thing about it. Defensive linemen move. They move a lot. You need to be able to simulate that in real time so that your guys aren't unprepared for it. We can go hit the sled all day long, but guess what? When you get into the game mode and that 3 technique goes to a 1 or that 7 goes to a 5, what are you going to do in those moments? Oh, coach, we just need more sled work. No. Like, I do believe there's a life in what you do it in the spring. Like he was talking about the 2-man Crowder. Like that is one where you work on timing and contact between 2 individuals. Guard center guard tackle, tight end, where you work on your combo blocks. But even that, you transition into, hey, we're going to move a pad in between you guys. And that way we want you hip to hip. I can't feel what it feels like being hip to hip if we work on the sled. Like, I'll explain it to you. I'm right here at right guard, and my tackle's at right tackle, right guard, right tackle. The coach will have a drill set where he has one of those soft pads in between you, and he wants you to get hip to hip. The coach will go set hut, drop the pad, and your steps are supposed to come together so you're smash hips together so you can work on the combo block. That right there works better again, other than doing a sled where you don't feel each other. Like, the combo blocks are supposed to be together. You're supposed to feel, where is he going to be? How quicker do I need to move, as opposed to just us both moving the sled? Like, there's a benefit to it. This ain't no diss to anybody hearing this as far as Coach Bill Callahan and anybody else that does this. But I am watching some of this. I think the Auburn offensive line has that sled berth, if I'm not mistaken. What it causes you to do is come off, stop, dip your hips, and then go. That's not a – more than likely, more times than not, that's not a real offensive line, defensive line block. You don't get an opportunity to stop your feet. When you make contact, your feet better keep rolling.
Interesting. Yeah. So it feels like you are more game-specific in the drills and the teaching that you are doing right now if you're a Titans offensive lineman.
And then I need to be able to see, if I hit you harder, what does your body move to? And can I not dip, not be a waist bender? And yes, these are real, like, football movements is what I would call them.
Well, it's interesting, too, the answer that Austin Schlottman gave us after practice last Thursday.
Facts.
When I asked him, hey, how much time do you need to develop chemistry with other interior linemen? And his answer was, well, like, we honestly don't just do that in team periods. We do that in individual periods.
Mm-hmm.
Every part of practice is partly catered toward building that chemistry and playing next to somebody who's going to set or combo block or do things differently than somebody else is. Like, Fernando Carmona is going to do that differently than Jackson Slater, who's going to look a little bit different to Cordell Volson. And what I'm hearing from you and seeing on the practice field is there is intentionality right now in helping those offensive linemen learn how to play with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But not just when the 11-on-11 work starts.
No, it's not. And then it's also timing as well. So when you have a two-man blocking scheme, and coach also puts a young player at the second level with a pad in his hand, you want to see how quick the linebackers to get downhill. Like, coach should either have the scout guys run over the top, run downhill, and you need to know when and how to disengage as well. There's a lot that goes into it. And the other part, and I think Austin Schlottman brought up to us last week, and having dealt with this style of offensive line coaching myself, the coaches will work you. You don't have to worry about reps, Will. Like, not even a little bit. It is next man, next man, next man, and everybody services each other. And that's the other part as well, too, is everybody gets an opportunity. Like, we see the highest paid guard in the league right now, Peter Skoronski, holding the pads. So that's the beautiful part.
Well, let's talk about the highest paid guard in the league when we come back. Happened after we were off air Friday, so we have not had the chance yet to react to Peter Skoronski's new contract, which we will talk about coming up next.
7:02. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. It's game week for the Titans as they take on the 49ers in Santa Clara Thursday night for preseason game number 1. No practice today as they travel, but tomorrow they have joint practice with the 49ers. Yesterday, the first unofficial depth chart of training camp dropped. 6 wide receivers listed at the top, with Bryce Oliver being the 6th. Cordell Volson is the starting right guard, with rookie Fernando Carmona as the backup. Gunnar Helm is the starting tight end ahead of Daniel Bellinger. And Mahmoud Diabate is the third starting linebacker over rookie Anthony Hill Jr. Other NFL news over the weekend, the Lions, they're signing veteran quarterback Josh Dobbs to a 1-year, $1.425 million deal with $475,000 fully guaranteed. The signing comes after Teddy Bridgewater announced his retirement from the NFL. And Nashville SC had a dominant 4-1 win last night over Atletico de San Luis in their Leagues Cup match. Christian Espinoza netted a brace, and Sam Surridge as well as Reed Baker-Whiting also got on the score sheet. Nashville ends Phase 1 of Leagues Cup when they face CF Monterrey at Geodis Park on Wednesday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
We have been a very pro Big Sco show. We're poets and we didn't know it for quite some time. And on Friday, we weren't necessarily wrong. We were just early on believing in number 77, Peter Skoronski. He is Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Ramon Will continues into hour number 2. Coming up, we'll talk more about Cam Ward's training camp so far here in 15 minutes. Peter Skoronski is the new highest paid guard in the NFL, Ramon Foster. 4-year, $100 million extension, $88 million guaranteed. Peter Skoronski played 1,004 snaps last season, the only Titans player on offense to play 100% of the team snaps in 2025. I know you are very happy for the man you affectionately known as Big Sco.
Absolutely, man. One, just shout out to him and his hard work and accepting that position change, going from left tackle to left guard. There's a lot that goes into submitting yourself for the team, to the team, and just saying like, hey, yeah, I'll do this. And it paid off for him. I would also say this too, from a coaching / parent side of this thing. Sometimes the coaches do know what's best for you as far as your career. Yeah, you might be a point guard, but maybe you need to be a 3 if you're in basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you don't handle the ball that well. If you are a tight end, maybe you need to be a linebacker. Or, hey, maybe coach moving you to tackle if you're a tight end, it's probably for your better, for the betterment of your career. But Peter Skoronski's shown to me, like, each and every year he's taking that next step. And that's what we've spoken about when you look at where his career is right now. Is last year was his best, and you expect a little bit more. He's about to hit that window of years 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and where you want to see this contract be justified, but also his maturity in the NFL does show that that's a part of his game. Like, you don't just hand these deals out to guys that you don't feel secure about, or guys that can't handle what this pressure means, because that's the other side. Now it's the performance side of it. It wouldn't shock me, and I think he got some votes last year, but Peter Skoronski's moving into that Pro Bowl conversation where he's more of a name around this league, and the more and more this offense has success, the more these guys will get highlighted too. But I'm happy for the interior side of the offensive line. There was an era, it was my era to be quite honest with you, nobody looked at the interior. And now coaches are putting an emphasis on it, as I think that is as beautiful of a process that you can get, that they've discovered the fastest way to the quarterback is through the D tackles on the interior or blitzes. Well, pay the guys that deserve to up the middle. It's not just a tackle show. Tackles, I love y'all, but sometimes y'all get by with just too much help and angles that are at your favor that's not the guards and centers' favor.
And defensive tackles would probably say the same about edge rushers.
No, for real. Seriously, that argument goes both ways, and I'm glad that football has waken up to what those positions mean, because everybody used to say, well, you just plug and play a guy in there. No, it's hell on the interior of the O-line and the D-line more times than not. So congrats to Peter Skoronski. God, racing the floor the way he did.
He recorded a 96% pass block win rate in 2025. That was tied for fourth overall among interior linemen. His fifth-year option would have paid him just a little over $19.07 million. Where did he make the biggest improvements from year 2 to year 3 in order to earn this deal?
I would think it would be his the way he held up in the passing game. His rookie year, he got pushed back a lot, and I knew that was going to be the case. Transitioning from more smaller athletes outside to moving interior, you got bigger guys. It's a shorter distance to the quarterback as well, and I thought his feet didn't stop soon enough. Now, going into that second, third year, he put more muscle mass on. You saw him have a better understanding of the space that he was in. And at that position, especially on the left side, I think you look at that group the same as that side, the same as left tackle. It is the quarterback's blind side. But it's also one of those situations in which you got to be stout, and that's where he's been. His run game, his flexibility as far as being able to pull left and pull right has shown up from time to time. I think the next phase for Peter Skoronski is becoming more known as a mauler. And, again, his specialty, I think, as it stands as a former tackle it is pass protection, which is probably the most important. But I do want to see that portion of his game, of his mauling skills, kind of take that same reputation as his pass setting is, too. And here's the last little point that I have about this signing. It also shows you what the cohesion of playing beside a guy can do for you as well. He and Dan Moore, I feel like Peter Skoronski's gotten better this year because Dan and he are both beside each other still. There's value in that. Not saying that Dan deserves to stay here beyond this year, but if he proves it, there's value in keeping Dan Moore around next year.
You could do a lot worse than Dan Moore at left tackle.
And I like that chemistry that they're building.
I don't know if there's anyone. I mean, there's always a possibility, I guess. But let's just say it would be very challenging for the Titans to find in 2027 a better left tackle than Dan Moore. For in 2027.
In 27.
Now, that may not matter to you as much because you may need to feel like, all right, we've drafted our first round left tackle. Go get Gooseby, the kid from Texas, to come in and be your franchise starting left tackle for years to come. But the chances of him stepping in right away as a rookie and being better than Dan Moore are slim, right?
Yeah, they are. Just the curve of it, the physicality component of it, too. That will be growing pains if that's the case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So right now you feel like you have a solid thing on the left side of your offensive line. Here's the other part of this that I think doesn't get talked about enough, and you're going to laugh, but I think you're going to agree with me. For the fan that's like, all right, well, he has to make the Pro Bowl now. All right, well, he better be all pro. I think the NFL community generally is so lazy with interior offensive linemen that now, Ramon, he will get votes simply because he is the highest paid guard in the league.
You best believe it.
How many times has Quentin Nelson been given credit and we're looking around like, Quentin Nelson's not been as good this year? Now, granted, Quentin Nelson is still very good. Don't get me wrong. And he's about to get paid again. He might get paid more than Peter even on his next extension because he's due for an extension as well. And that's deserved for his entire body of work. But there have been seasons where Quentin Nelson has been fine. Yeah, he'll still get in the Pro Bowl because he's Quentin Nelson.
He's the name.
Peter Skoronski is becoming a name at guard. And I think we as an NFL community have to stop basing our analysis on how good a player is based off of if they made the Pro Bowl or not. Because the Pro Bowl might be the most irrelevant all-star game in all of sports. Shedeur Sanders made it. Tyler Huntley was invited to it. I mean, the injury designation part of this, the omissions that certain guys have, the way that we just crown guys because they got paid. Peter Skoronski, I guarantee you, will make the next Pro Bowl, partly because he's gotten paid, and now people will be like, oh, that's the highest paid guard in the NFL. Let's watch him a little bit more closely. And that's exactly, I guarantee you, what's going to happen.
It's either team success because of your running game or contracts that kind of follow you. 100%. And you're right. It's a lazy way of doing it. The Pro Bowl, I wish it would get back to the prestige that it was. Like, the label still matters for your career's sake.
It does.
The label still matters. But the operation of what the game is not. Like, at this point, we may as well just do it the way college does it. Just name your All-Americans. Right? Like college, you acknowledge who are the best of the best, I guess that would be the all-pro side of things. But you know who's going to make it. Just do away with it and treat it like college All-Americans for the most part, because the prestige of it's kind of gone away in that matter. But I don't think the game changes as much anymore. It won't go back to a physical style of ball no more. It's too risky, though.
Quentin Nelson made the Pro Bowl in 2022. According to PFF, he allowed 5 sacks that year. So the good news is, Peter, just keep your schedule clear for the Pro Bowl every offseason, because now that you got paid, and granted, Peter deserves to get paid. I'm not taking anything away from Peter Skoronski. I think it's just funny how I think the chicken becomes before the egg sometimes in how interior players get Pro Bowl nods. And the same can be said, I think, for defensive tackles.
No doubt. I have a question I want to address. Mike, who's our resident guy, man, said, what do you mean by him being a mauler? That's Peter Skoronski. That's what I'm saying.
Good question.
I think his reputation is he's a really good pass setter. And that's, I think, probably one of the most important parts of an offensive lineman game. Him being more of a mauler means when they got it in 3rd and 1 as a collective, him being able to uproot guys off their pivot right there. When it comes time for him to pull, it ain't just getting the job done, which is a part of it as well. Sometimes, especially in the NFL, getting the job done is just fine. Meaning, hey, I'm face-to-face with you. My running back got a lane. The next step, Mike, would be, hey, him being able to connect with a guy, move him downfield, and pancake him from time to time. Like the way we saw, again, I'm going to reference Darnell Wright last year. His highlights, you want to see that in the run game.
Well, that's the word, highlights.
Highlights.
If you are creating highlights as an offensive lineman, you're a mauler, because it means that you are stealing someone's soul.
Absolutely. Like Quentin Nelson.
Literally. Got
known for this as well. Like, I felt like Quentin was more of a mauler first before a pass protector.
The ultimate mauler is Trey Smith.
Trey, yes, no doubt.
When you talk about finishing blocks.
Yes.
And you get a guy on the ground and then you pile drive him again while he's still down, like you are using a wrestling finishing move.
Yeah.
That is what it looks like to be a mauler.
That nastiness. Now, that comes with success, cohesion, and offensive success as well. That's the other part where it kind of limits him a little bit. Like, Peter's getting the job done in a run game.
I mean, doesn't the Northwestern reputation and just the good guy that Peter is kind of follow him too?
It does.
Because we don't think of him as being the mean, nasty, make a guy feel like they just got blocked by you when they're on the ground after they just got blocked. Like, Peter Skoronski is known more for the clean pockets and the good guy award that he wins from the Titans media. And like, he was nominated for the Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award last year. And that to me is more Peter Skoronski's persona, more so than, man, you just see this offensive lineman just carry a guy to the front row. And the way Trey Smith and some other players, and there's not a better or worse way to do it. It's just different.
Now,
like, you have some offensive linemen who will block someone to the bench. And toe the line a little bit of getting penalized or not getting penalized. The good side is that Peter Skoronski doesn't pick as many penalties after the play. It isn't as much of a hothead, but you're saying that the next step in his career is maybe finding the right avenues to be a hothead a little bit more.
To be a little, and maybe that's, like, I play with a guy I think is a great, David DeCastro. He never was that guy. I was a trash talker. Me and Marquise was, Pouncey, okay? On this line, here's what I will paint. Can I just...
You were a sarcastic trash talker.
Oh, well, no, I can't even say these words on the radio, okay? The kids are in the car because they're going back to school today.
Sure, but you were on the record, too, that your favorite kind of trash talk was saying, hey, turn around. We didn't look at your number on film at all.
That's what I allow on the radio.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I was a menace. Do you hear me? I talked about him bad. Well, I will put it this way, just to name two different sides. Now, I will say this. I do think the left side and the right side have different personalities. I think looking at Dan, looking at Peter, a little bit more cerebral.
Well, somebody has to be starting at right guard for us to know who their personality is.
We have
no clue who that starter is going to be.
Here's why I want to go with that. If you mention J.C. Latham being that type of guy that's an in-your-face, rah-rah, take you to the sideline, you wouldn't even bat an eye at that, would you?
No, and honestly, I wouldn't bat an eye talking about Fernando Carmona that way either.
That's where I was going. Imagine... Now, he got to go win it. He got to go prove he ain't going to be a dumb rookie by having mental errors.
He's coming on a little bit right now.
But if you have a yin and a yang, a hot and a cold, a sweet and a sour, a salt and a pepper, whatever you want to call it, you got your nice cerebral side over here that can pass pro they butt off. But on this side, this right side, with JC's attitude, and if Fernando Carmona can win, We talking about savages over here.
The funny thing is, too, I think Austin Schlottman is a perfect balance of both.
Sloat is? Yes,
Austin
yes,
Schlottman is the one who started the original skirmish with Jeffrey Simmons because he wouldn't let him go. But then he started it and then got out of there.
Yeah.
Which he told us when we talked to him last week. He's like, yeah, I wanted to practice, so I wasn't throwing any punches. So he's like, I don't know how I didn't get blamed more for it because I started it and then I just got out of there. He's a very smart player, too.
He said, I'm not going to get myself in trouble. I'm going to go and get back in the huddle. And said, fighting is too much. But, like, that balance of having the cool side over here and the savage side over there with the balance of having Sloatman in the middle, I've been telling y'all I feel like they building something.
Congrats to Peter Skronsky on the extension. It's very well deserved. And congrats to him preemptively on making the next Pro Bowl because he got paid.
I love it.
It's the way this works. It's the way it should work in some ways. But, yeah, he absolutely deserves
that contract will feed miles of offensive linemen for years to come, baby. Appreciate y'all.
615-737-1045. Notes from weekend practices and why Cam Ward is starting to make us feel a little bit more confident heading into the first preseason game week after this.
The summer heat can wear anybody out, all right? But if you're feeling drained even with the AC on, it may not just be the heat. 1 in 4 men from ages 35 to 50 have low testosterone and low energy levels, sex drive, motivation, mood, and so much more. Low T drains your energy and motivation so you don't have the energy for the things you love and might even stop recognizing yourself anymore. So get the answers you need this summer for free. At Low T Center, you can book a free testosterone test and get a consultation from a licensed provider who specializes in testosterone replacement therapy. Explore a range of peptides and even get a jump on the summer body with GLP-1s and medical weight loss protocols. Low T Center has been the #1 name in TRT since 2009 for a reason. So don't spend another day wondering why you don't feel like yourself. Visit fixmylowt.com to schedule your free testosterone test today. That's fixmylowt.com.
Put Lee Company on your team and stay ahead of the game with home maintenance, repairs, and more. For as little as $14 a month, become a Lee Company Plus member and receive 4 annual visits to your home for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical systems. Lee Company is a one-stop shop for anything that's not working around the house. And even better, Lee Company Plus members receive 20% off on all repairs and enjoy priority service. You can learn more online at leecompany.com/plus. Platinum Home Protection starts with a Lee Company Plus membership from the business that has over 80 years of experience serving Middle Tennessee. Lee Company's been trusted since 1944. They're available 24/7, and they've got 16 community locations from Tennessee to Kentucky, Alabama, and Georgia as well. So trust one of their 1,800-plus team members by heading online to leecompany.com/plus. That's Lee Company, all you need. Talking about Cam Ward of the Titans offense this morning on Ramon and Will, and for good reason, with the plays that were made over the weekend. A Friday scrimmage, a Sunday practice, and a lot of positive Cam Ward chatter coming out of the Vanderbilt Health Football Center. 615-737-1045, Ramon Foster and Will Bowling. We go back to the phones where Tristan is in Brentwood. What's up, Tristan?
Morning, Tristan.
Thank you for taking my call. Before I talk about my Titans questions, I am declaring for the WNBA draft. I'm autistic, so that's diversity, and I may not be the best scorer, but yes, I'm joining Independent Freedom and Royce Wide since WNBA doesn't know what a woman is. But my two questions.
Hey, Tristan,
let's move on from that, Tristan. What do you got on the
type of show. Those two,
we're not doing
those two bums right there didn't even make it in their own league. So of course they try to go to a women's league. You don't want to be in that group with them.
It's a joke, guys.
I know, but we're not that type of show to joke about that type of stuff, especially when it comes to dudes trying to do women's stuff.
What do you have on the Titans, Tristan? Let's move on.
Okay, I think they should start Pat Coogan instead of Austin for center, and I think Titans will go 2-15.
Thank you, Tristan.
Tristan, you definitely, I don't know, I'm not going to go with you like that.
What'd you say? Y'all are talking at the same time.
Nah, I was just saying, I'm not going to go with Tristan like that. He said he was autistic, so I'm going to leave it as is. And that's not an excuse either. I know plenty of autistic people that function well in this world, so don't lean your hat on that as well, okay?
Well, that at least opens the door for us to have a conversation about Austin Schlottman, because I'm going to go the total opposite direction. Austin Schlottman is this team's center.
Yes, he is.
There is no question.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Ramon, I think we entered camp thinking there are two interior offensive line spots that could be up for grabs. There is a center spot that has Austin Schlottman and the draft pick and Pat Coogan, who Tristan mentioned. And there is a right guard battle between Cordell Volson, Fernando Carmona, and Jackson Slater. There is one battle, in my opinion, because I think Austin Schlottman has got a firm grip on center. I wrote down multiple times during the scrimmage on Friday night, Austin Schlottman is holding his own against Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah, he did.
Did you notice the same thing?
I did notice that as well. He was good. And Jeff was bringing, and Jeff won some. But as far as like the back and forth competitive side that either one of them possessed, slowly held his own against one of the best D tackles in the league, man. And that's where it begins at right there. That's exactly where it begins at, man. I'm super. That was just one of those good signings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was one of those good signings, and it's proven it more for how he knows the offense. But even in our conversation we had with him earlier this week, he spoke about how he and Cam helped the offense even before he get to the line of scrimmage sometimes. So, yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned to us he will help with a lot of the run checks. Cam Ward will do a lot of the protections because he can see more of the safeties and where the corners are and things like that. How normal is that for run game to be the center's responsibility and pass game to be a bit more of the quarterback's responsibility?
That's the normal you're looking for because I ain't gonna say most quarterbacks aren't interested in the run as much, but you got to think about their job on a run. Like, yeah, they're supposed to set you up and not be in a position to where they make you run into City Hall. Meaning, if the center makes a mic point and it's wrong, the quarterback has the ability to veto it, and he has to also know the run scheme. But more times than not, I've been in situations with my center before. He'll tell the quarterback, no, we have to go right here. And the quarterback just simply handing the ball off because we know the blocking scheme, which is usually our specialty. A quarterback's more in tune with the passing game, Will, because he can get killed on a particular play if he's not understanding where the pressures and mic points are at.
On Friday's scrimmage, Cam Ward was 23 of 30 with a touchdown drive and 2 field goal drives. Joey Slime miss kept him from getting points on another possession. Mm-hmm. He had a touchdown throw to Gunnar Helm in the back of the end zone. And then yesterday, I would say the offense was good. There were moments where they weren't great, but there are also moments where they were excellent, which is kind of becoming a theme at this point. The offense will jump out quickly, and then the defense will answer. is the way now I think about 3 straight practices have gone. Yesterday, Cam Ward was 11 of 21, excelled in a strike zone, red zone period, completing 5 of 7 during a stretch where the offense was just all over the defense. That's kind of becoming the norm. Red zone period, early in practice, it's offense, touchdown, 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 touchdown. And then they'll take a break. They'll do special teams for 10 to 15 minutes. They'll come back, and it's defense, dominant.
Yeah.
What does Cam Ward's progression through this point of camp mean to you? And how much does it move the needle, the extent that Cam Ward is starting to play better quarterback?
To me, I look at it from this standpoint. The Titans have done all they can to surround him with guys on the offensive line, on the at his skill positions as well, and in general, the defense that he's going up against. The way I look at Cam this year is he's not been wasteful. The reps have been very direct, Will. The teaching, you can kind of see him taking that on very deliberately to where he's staying in the pocket and letting the play develop. The way he's communicating with his guys, and not just that, like all of that is the other stuff. Like he's actually making passes. Like we even look at the Elikai Manor. I said it right that time too. Elikai Manor's catch and he and Kevin Winston, tussle that they had this past week when he hit the ground and stuff. Like that ball was only in a specific place where you have Elick only able to get it. It was either his ball or it was going out of bounds. That was a beautiful part about that play. And Cam's had numerous plays like that, too, to where he would throw it up to either Elick or Carnell, and it's only in that space. And that's the beautiful part about what this year has shown me so far is he's not been wasteful. Everything that's on his plate, he's trying to eat as much as he possibly can without doing too much. And I think that's the next step that Cam was needing to take. Those layups that we were speaking about, right? Those sideline passes that you got to have over the middle. Like if you were watching this past weekend, it was situations in which, at least at the blue and white scrimmage, where Cam get the ball, look left or look right, and then just dump it over the middle to his tight end or somebody that's sitting down in a flat form, or he finds his running back. Like it's no wasted movement or just processing from him this year to where he feel like he has to do everything himself. I wonder, has that been a conversation for him this year? It's like, look, you have teammates. You have more than just one wide receiver. Find your running back outlet. Find where you can capitalize on the defense, turning their backs and running, and you run out of bounds. Like, that's what I feel like this year has been, or at least this training camp has been with them so far, is he's not wasting the talent around him. Every rep, I feel like, has had a point.
It's interesting you make the point, kind of leading off that statement, saying they've done everything they could to surround him with talent. I don't totally agree with that, honestly, because I think they could have invested more into this offensive line. Now, I mean, like, for example, they traded up to draft Anthony Hill Jr.
Yeah.
That could have been a draft pick, plug-and-play, day-one starter at right guard if you really wanted it to be. They've saw value, though, in Anthony Hill Jr. being such a good fit for this defense. They said, no, we got to go get that guy. Yeah. Same thing can be said about Keldrick Falk. Like they had opportunities to address offensive line before they ultimately did in the NFL draft. But here's where I think you can still be right in that comment. There can be enough around Cam Ward from an offensive line standpoint if Cam Ward just gets rid of the ball more quickly. What are you asking these linemen to do? Mm-hmm. Are you asking them to block for a quarterback who is top 5 in the NFL in the longest average time to throw last year? Or can we say as an offensive staff and as a front office, this offensive line is going to work if our quarterback can make major strides in getting the ball out of his hand and making better decisions?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm seeing Cam Ward make better decisions that I think, Ramon, makes this offensive line better on paper.
No doubt. And that's the reason you don't use that second-round pick. Like, you look at the guys that you have in the room, like, as far as the structure of how Mike Borgonzi and at the time, Chad Brinker helped set up this team. Like, Cody Barton's towards the latter end of this deal. You look at Said, you had to figure out where your depth was as far as the second level. That's the reason I think the Anthony Hill Jr. situation made more sense as opposed to getting an offensive lineman at that point in time, though, too. Because
and you're not drafting on need either.
No, you're not.
Immediate need.
That's a luxury piece right there, and you took advantage of it as well.
That's how you reach in the NFL draft, is when you draft the need. I'm not being overly critical of it. I'm just saying they could have, if they wanted to, done more to help their offensive line.
Yes, most definitely.
They prioritized other things because you can't fix everything at once.
Absolutely, and that's how you kind of bracket how you are as a team, where your hot spot's going to be, whose contracts, et cetera, is coming up. It is most definitely a process of it. But what I mean by them surrounding them, and I think we're on the same page, is that, but like the weapons that you know are known commodities, right? Like Calvin coming back for less, the way it was reported. That's a known commodity. Keep him in-house. Yeah, absolutely it is. Calvin's a commodity, most definitely.
He is a commodity. I'm not sure I know what Calvin Ridley's going to supply the Titans this year.
Well, with this offense, I feel so there's a lot that goes into that statement. With how this offense is set up and who's going to get the ball, like Calvin still has the ability to bring in plays for you this year. He might not be, and I don't think we expect Calvin to be the main character. But every team's got numerous threats. I would put, in my personal opinion, as far as like game planning, I would put Carnell and Calvin before I put Carnell and Ellick together, is the way I look at it.
I'd put Wandell before Calvin Ridley.
I mean, different position, but like most definitely, yeah, it is. Calvin has a bigger threat in this league than I think Wandell did at the time. Wandell's had a couple of
It's not about
years.
threat to me. It's about safety blanket.
But that's
and
what
I think Wandell Robinson is already showing us how big of a role he can play as a safety blanket for Cam.
I'm telling you, Calvin would pay dividends for this team barring injury this year. And I think that was a huge benefit of being able to bring him back because, again, it's another weapon that you didn't have to wonder about.
I disagree.
And that's fine, but like
I think
clearly Borgonzi felt the same way too.
Oh, I don't know that. I don't agree with that either.
You don't? Why so?
I think he believed in him enough to keep him around, but I don't think Calvin Ridley's being handed a starting role on this team. I think Elikai Manor is starting to take it from him.
I can't wait till the end of camp then. I kind of want to see
I'm not saying it's going to happen at the end of camp. That's not what I said. I'm saying by the middle of this season, I think your three starters look more like Carnell Tate, Wandell Robinson, Elikai Manor than it does Calvin Ridley instead of Elick.
Calvin, and this is me. Calvin, I still think plays a pivotal part on this team, just simply because of experience.
I don't know
barring health. Calvin was brought in here to be a number one. You don't just push him all the way back.
That was before a big injury.
But you don't push him all the way back.
And that was under a different GM and a different head coach.
I think
Father Time might be pushing him all the way back.
Nah, I don't
He's
think that's
coming
the
off
case.
a really big injury. How much have we really learned about Calvin Ridley through camp so far? Because he has not been nearly as productive.
I mean, but neither has Tony Pollard, though.
He is not. I don't.
As far as reps, we've seen more from Tajay than we have
in the
seen
pass
Tony
game, but
Pollard.
that's not Tony Pollard's game.
But that's the same. Like Calvin's still generating pass catches in the league. I mean, in these practices, though,
not as much as Elick, not as much as Chim. But the question I was going to ask is, how much does the Chipotle stuff matter? Like, how much time does Calvin Ridley get? Are you still feeling like he is working his way back from losing 15 pounds and having an illness, or is his lack of production right now in practice a sign of things to come this season?
It could be both, is what I would say. It could be a sign of things to come. Like Elick also last year, Elikai Manor also hit a wall last year to where it didn't work out for him as well. Chimray became more of a special teamer than he did an offensive player. That's the reason I look at the three-headed like vets the known commodities that you have of, well, we'll see what Carnell is going to be. Carnell, Wandell, and Calvin, those three guys I think lead the way into setting this entire offense up as it pertains to known guys that's going to play and catch the ball. And again, here's the other part. Now, later in the season, we'll see if Calvin comes off the field and Elick gets more reps, but I want Calvin to be a part of this, not just a me want thing.
I want him to be a part of it as well.
Absolutely.
I just disagree with the statement that he is a known commodity.
He is.
I think at 31 years old, soon to be 32, coming off the injury that he had, he is not a known commodity.
He will be for this team.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a foregone conclusion.
Do I believe in what Elick can be? Absolutely. But as far as like Sundays in the NFL, I think Calvin is definitely going to play a pivotal role if Elick can upseed him.
And again, I'm not calling Malachi Manor a known commodity either. I think there are a lot of unknown commodities. I think Wan'Dale Robinson, to an extent, is an unknown commodity, and how he and Cam Ward develop chemistry together. I think it's a credit to Carnell Tate that he might be the most known commodity of the entire wide receiver room, and he's not even played an NFL snap yet.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, what you do see from him, though, is his social media legend is growing.
Oh, and for good reason. It should be.
It's a lot of outsiders.
As good as he looks right now.
That are calling Carnell's name right now.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little more open-ended on what this offense looks like in terms of who gets the targets, who makes catches. I like the idea of Calvin Ridley playing against number 2 and number 3 corners.
Sure.
A, I need him to be healthy.
Yeah.
And B, I need to see him catch the football consistently, because there were times last season when Cam was rifling passes in there and they weren't being caught.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And I think Calvin Ridley would be the first one to tell you that, of like, I got to make some more of those plays.
Easily, he's got to make routine plays routine. Most definitely.
615-737-1045. Your thoughts in the F and Big chat. We'll get to Tucker and Hermitage as well coming up next. Plus, some more bad Vols news out of fall camp. Another Tennessee defensive player is out for the season. We'll tell you about that coming up next. If you are moving in Middle Tennessee, you know how stressful the process is of doing all the little things and that one big thing, making sure you get top dollar for your home. What's up? It's Will Bowling. My friend Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. There's no risk to you. Bernie Gallerani will let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent who has the 30-day guarantee to sell your home, and if not, he'll buy it from you. You can call Bernie at 615-428-2644. That's his personal cell phone number, 615-428-2644. Or head online to BernieGallerani.com. His team specializes in the little things, the stressful parts of moving that you don't want to deal with. So get the 30-day guarantee from the real estate agent in Middle Tennessee who has that 30-day guarantee, Bernie Gallerani, by calling 615-428-2644, online at BernieGallerani.com. If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to. You can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. Hey, it's Will Bowling. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. And it gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, and no long, drawn-out process. And listen, no closing costs. You may even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. So call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. That's online at loanpronto.com. See how much you can get right now at 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, online at loanpronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. A big Vols headline over the weekend we will get to in seconds on Ramon and Will. Austin Price coming up in a half hour for a Monday visit as we move some things around this week. You got our VolQuest guys on some different days with Titans preseason reaction taking center stage here on Friday. But right now, Tucker in Hermitage has a thought on Jackson Slater, 615-737-1045. Hey, Tucker.
Morning, Tucker.
What up, guys? I just had a quick question. So I was at practice yesterday, and I saw Carmona have a really good day from what I could see. He looked good. He looked mean. He was pushing guys around. But I just had a question because, I listen to y'all. I listen to Stoney and Zach a lot, and they're real high on Slater. They love Slater. They love what he could possibly show. But on that depth chart that was put out, it showed that he was second string to Skoronski. So, I just didn't know, what are y'all's thoughts on, does he have a real chance at playing this year at right guard, or is that going to be Carmona's spot if Volson doesn't kind of pan out to start the season?
Sure. Thank you, Tucker. Appreciate the call.
Question, Tucker.
What do you think?
I do think there's a better pathway for Fernando Carmona to be a starter this year. I think there's a lot of pressure on Cordell Volson to perform at a higher level that really separates the judgment between him and a rookie. Here's the other part, though, too. When you're looking at it, I feel as though the reset that Cordell Volson is having remember, didn't play an entire game last year. He's resetting himself as a pro, too. The one thing that he's got on Jackson Slater and Fernando Carmona is years in this league. How his performance look day to day, week to week, over the next few weeks, as far as training camp concerned, is where Fernando Carmona can really capitalize on this one. I've stated, this is my personal opinion as well. What was it called? His last name?
Tucker in Hermitage.
Tucker. Here's my personal opinion on Jackson Slater. I do view his situation as he's probably more veteran than Pat Coogan. When you look at the way offensive lines are set up, no, he is more veteran than Pat Coogan. The way offensive lines are set up, there has to be the rotational guy in the middle. I almost feel like that the way Jackson Slater's camp has gone, where they have him right now, I do think he will make the team, but I also see him as the reserve middle replacement guy. He's your center and game day replacement. The pressure, in my opinion, in a good way, I've been there, and numerous guys in this league has as well, it's on Cordell Volson. Because having a young rookie be getting snaps with Tajay Spears on the same side of the ball to be blocking with Cam Ward shows a lot about what this competition is. That's why, this depth chart doesn't mean a lot. It doesn't. Doesn't mean a lot, but it does at the same exact time when you look at Cordell Volson, who missed a year, Fernando Carmona, who's sharing reps with him. And like I said, you need your game day 7. You got to have your swing tackle, which they're still looking for. And you got to have a guy up the middle that can play guard and center. And I do personally think that's Jackson Slater. Pat Coogan, I'm not sure if he's ready just yet.
It feels like Pat Coogan will make the roster, but might not be up on game day.
Yeah. Yes. That's kind of how I see it. And if you do need him, he's extra tight end.
Right.
The 8th offensive lineman on game day. It's just the way I've kind of seen these roles kind of be played out.
You think Coogan could be an extra tight end?
Yeah, because he's big and he know how to block.
I feel like that'd be Crenshaw Dixon, wouldn't it?
It would, but is he the swing tackle?
I think right now he is.
Yeah. So
I think right now he is.
But he's the 7.
If I'm picking one of the tackles to be my third tackle right now on this roster, it's him over Austin Deculus.
And here's the other part, though, too. I feel like we should be getting to the point where we can trust JC to work along a rookie. But Fernando,
I have to.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna say. But Fernando Carmona better grow up quick, and he better look at this situation and fully take advantage of it.
He's coming on. He's coming on strong. I think he is gaining more comfort, and I think he is pushing to play sooner than maybe we expected as of a week ago.
Yeah.
But that being said, that is also a testament to how quickly things can change in a week, and especially this week when you're going to have a joint practice on Tuesday and a game on Thursday.
Yeah, for sure. This has all been cute because it's Titan on Titan. And I don't mean that in a sense. I think it's been really good work.
Yeah, sure.
But like going against somebody that you have no idea and you only get one day, one shot at it as well, that's where the real challenge comes into, because it's like a game day setting.
They've been taking pop quizzes, and now it's time to take the first exam of the semester.
You best believe. Midterm, not even midterms. Yeah.
Well, it's time to take the first big test
Yes.
of the summer that went on syllabus week. You got the syllabus set. All right, well, it's the first time I really got to lock in.
August, what is it? August 11th, August 13th. We got a big test coming up that I study. Like, this process is so beautiful, and we're getting all the answers in front of us in real time. It's just the uncertainty of who's going to continue to take those next steps.
A joint practice at a preseason game is like when teachers would tell you, we're going to have a test over 2 days. You're going to take part one day, and then the next class, you're going to take part 2. Oh,
In there.
It's a shiver down my spine.
That's what this is.
Honestly.
I freaking love it. God, I love this.
Tennessee football will be without linebacker Jaden Harmon. He tore his ACL in practice Saturday, according to VolQuest. Not great.
Not great at all.
If there is a position where you could withstand an injury like this, it probably is inside linebacker, as deep as Tennessee is there, but not in the first 2 games because Arion Carter has been given a BS suspension by the NCAA. So he played in 13 games last season, Jaden Harmon, as a true freshman. Played on Tennessee's special teams unit, finished the year with 19 total tackles, a half sack, a half TFL, and 1 PBU. Without him and Arion Carter now, you turn to veteran Amari Campbell, veteran Jeremiah T-Lander, and last year's leading tackler, Edwin Spillman, at the top of the depth chart. Of course, Jaden Perlotti flashed last season. Yeah. Can he take that next step to be a more consistent player within this defense? It might mean, Ramon, that you see some of the 2 freshmen, Braden Rouse and TJ White, this year as well.
They've recruited a position at a very high rate.
Yes, they have.
And a lot of talent in it as well. Like, being down almost 2 bodies with the Arion Carter suspension still pending, depending on if they sue for it or not, sue for his eligibility or not, is not as bad as it would be if this was a defensive lineman. If this was a running back type of situation right here. I live okay with this one, knowing that Jaden Harmon played a little bit last year, not a lot. There's a lot of guys on that second level of the defense, I think, that can fill this role. And I'm not minimizing his role, Jaden Harmon, because I'm high on him. I thought it was a high recruit coming out of Georgia as well. Both Jadens, Perlotti and Harmon, last year played for the Vols.
Yeah, similar players.
Very similar players, but they got a lot of depth. It sucks for him. I mean, nobody wants to deal with that type of injury.
It's a concern for special teams for the season. I think it's a bit more of a concern just for the first 2 weeks while you don't have Arion Carter, because the NCAA pulled him over for going 31 on the 30.
Insane situation right there.
615-737-1045 is our number. The Titans released an unofficial depth chart. We'll give you our takeaways coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Two Rivers Ford, man. You know what you need for your tailgate? I'll tell you, a Ford F-150. And right now, it's F-150 season at Two Rivers Ford. You can lock in a 2.9% financing for up to 84 months on a brand new 2026 F-150. You choose the terms. Plus, $1,500 bonus cash is available to you and a 2-year complimentary maintenance plan. And I will tell you, it is legit. They will come to where you are to maintenance your vehicle. That's a 2.9% APR, $1,500, and a 2-year maintenance plan on your new Ford F-150. And when you do business with Two Rivers Ford, you can rest assured you're doing business with a locally owned company that's upfront and honest. The price you see online is always the price that you pay, and you will not find any add-on accessories or surprises that increase the price when you get to the dealership. So put a F-150 in your driveway. Go see the non-commissioned sales team at Two Rivers Ford. Family owned for 3 generations. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
8:03. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. It's game week for the Titans as they take on the 49ers in Santa Clara Thursday night for preseason game number 1. No practice today as they travel, but we'll have joint practice tomorrow with the 49ers. NFL news this morning, Commanders head coach Dan Quinn confirmed that left tackle Laramie Tunsil will undergo surgery on his torn triceps. There is no return timeline just yet until after surgery, but is expected to miss significant time, if not the rest of the season. Also in New England, the Patriots have agreed to terms with tight end Hunter Henry on a 2-year, $16 million contract extension worth up to $20 million. The 31-year-old had a career high in receiving yards last year with 768 yards on 60 receptions and hauled in 7 touchdowns. And in Chicago, wide receiver Luther Burden III is expected to miss the preseason due to a strained groin injury he suffered on Saturday, but the Bears believed he should be back for the team's regular season opener versus the Carolina Panthers. And Nashville SC, they had a dominant 4-1 win last night over Atletico de San Luis in the Leagues Cup match. Nashville will end Phase 1 of Leagues Cup when they face CF Monterrey at Geodis Park on Wednesday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show getting started on this Monday morning. Glad you're here. Hope you had a great weekend. 615-737-1045, the number. We stream the show live for you on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. With 11-year NFL vet and Titans radio analyst Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins, our producer. A great weekend for you. And being able to help out some kids and do a great deed for our community and raising money from your father, with Prince's, with so many people who donated at 1045thezone.com to give a bunch of kids, double the kids as last year, some new shoes for the first day of school over the weekend. Really, really good stuff from you.
No doubt about it. Tennessee is the volunteer state, man, and I do mean this with all due respect. Like, y'all really do show up when people are in need. And this past week, man, we were able to, as Will said, not just meet our goal as far as funds contributed to it, but we overdid it. The goal was $5,500, of course, for the kids, and we ended up doing over $7,600.
You know what it is now?
What is it?
$8,700.
When did that happen?
I don't know. $8,700.
Hey.
We reached 158% of that $5,500 goal, and it looks like it is still open. So if you still want to head to 1045thezone.com, I don't know. But, yeah, really good stuff.
And here's the
really
thing, too, about From Your Father. They also pair with other charities around the city as well, too. They're the hub for it, and they branch out to others as well. They weren't only just, we didn't only just get them shoes this past weekend. They aided Princess. Shout out to Princess for opening up that Antioch outlet at the Tanger, the Antioch location at the Tanger outlets. But they were also passing out socks. And I know it's one of those things like socks. Like,
yeah, no.
Socks are crucial, okay? Socks, they were passing out food as well, man. The people who are in that program have to go through the rules of what From Your Father lays out for them. So it's not just like you're passing out to family and friends. No, these are people who are in need. It was a lot of families, man, who had grandparents acting as parents. It was extended, moms and dads as well, or moms that were showing up, that were playing the parent role as well. And from seeing some of the young kids from last year to this year, how much they've grown, it's really a community, man. I'm kind of glad that we poured into that. So, again, thank you guys, 1045 The Zone. Everybody that contributed, man. I don't even want to start naming names because there's too many that did. But I saw them. I went through the long list. A lot of familiar faces or a lot of familiar names that donated, and I appreciate you guys.
Well, great job by you as well. And appreciate you doing what you do for our community because you certainly do great work for these kids and these families. So
it was just cool.
Awesome stuff.
Thank you, man.
Awesome
appreciate
stuff.
that.
We'll be joined by Austin Price coming up here in 15 minutes. Get the latest fall camp news out of Knoxville ahead of a massive scrimmage this upcoming weekend for the Tennessee quarterback battle. The Titans released their unofficial depth chart last night. Ramon, your number one takeaway, the thing you found most interesting was what?
Looking at Fernando Carmona be too deep. And also, there's no slash between Gunnar Helm and also Daniel Bellinger. I thought it would have been a slash between those two.
I thought there was a chance Daniel Bellinger could have just been listed as the starter at tight end.
Nobody would have batted an eye. I don't think so.
I think some fans would. I don't think media there watching practice would have batted an eye.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought that was super fascinating, man, just watching those two. And, of course, the backup guard situation as well, between Slater being over at the left side of this thing and Carmona being at the right, because Carmona was a left guard at college. I know he's played across the line, but he was a left guard at Arkansas. But other than that, no real checks on this list. Jackie Marshall being too deep as well as I look at it. And the last one for me was the Femi Oladejo being behind Jermaine Johnson.
Was that a surprise to you?
A little bit, because I thought, just looking at where he is as a second-year player, I thought you would have went with, Truman or Malik Herring, who Malik Herring's also had a good camp himself. And to see Femi in too deep situation right there was just a little bit of an eye raiser. And I think, of course, when you look at fan favorites, Restrepo been down the depth chart playing a part at him. Amazing Kenzie's second behind Chimere Dike. None of it matters, right? When you got that many different skill positions, though, players at one position, like that's where the depth chart, the first unofficial one, can be kind of muddied a little bit.
I think the Fernando Carmona thing is really interesting, and it feels like he is starting to make more of a case for immediate playing time.
Did we say that this year? Like, those two draft picks between Coogan and Carmona could be expected to start this year.
I don't think Pat Coogan's going to start a game this season.
No, not this season.
But I think Fernando Carmona will.
Yeah. It's just a matter of, is he opening day or is he 4 games into the season? It's Cordell Volson has to prove a lot. Being a veteran, having not played, I know he's played in some big-time games and stuff like that, but, when you miss a year, there's a lot to prove.
My question for the coaching staff, if I could give them truth serum, would be, who do you want to win the battle? And the answer may be no one. But there are coaching staffs with the idea that if things are even close to equal between a veteran and a young guy, you play the veteran. Because in theory, the veteran would have the higher floor, even if the rookie has a higher ceiling and has more of a future with this organization. So this is the first time we learn how Robert Saleh, his staff, and how this organization is going to treat camp battles between a veteran incumbent player and a rookie. Because Mike Vrabel made it clear, unless you're a first-round pick, you're probably going to have to wait at least a couple of weeks in order to get your chance to start over a veteran who's had more time and experience in this league. That's not the case everywhere. But I think we're about to learn what that case looks like for Brian Daboll, Carmen Bracillo, and obviously the man who makes the call ultimately, Robert Saleh.
One other fascinating approach to it is plenty on this depth chart, right? This unofficial, I feel like we have to always say this unofficial depth chart, is how does, even still, I throw Micah Carter in there. Micah Carter, Julius Chestnut, Kalel Mullings, and Nick Singleton battle this out, kind of finish this out. Because I think when you look at the 5th-round draft pick that Nick Singleton is, he's got a lot of talent. And if given the opportunity with the reps and the low workload, he's going to, I feel like, make a big play. So what happens if he does make a big run? Can you protect him as far as practice squad goes? Do you really want to hold on to him as much as you possibly can? And then the other parts, of course, is Kalel and Julius. Special teams are real this time of the year. Who's going to separate themselves?
Very real. Very real, no doubt. The other question about starting Carmona right away is, when would you like for him to make his first start if he isn't the week 1 starter? Because looking at the schedule, you have 2 home games to start the year. You're probably not going to give a player a first start, I would think, in a road game, right? I guess you could.
I got my first start in a road game.
Oh, well,
later in the season,
that is more of a college probably thought.
Yeah.
Of if you can help it, you don't want a freshman starting on the road in the SEC, right?
Right.
NFL is a little bit different in that, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, no, not really.
I mean, in a perfect world, I'm looking at week 7 against the Cleveland Browns? Because weeks 1 and 2, all right, let's just say for the sake of conversation, Cordell Volson's your starter, but you have the vision to give Fernando Carmona opportunities if Volson doesn't take the job and run with it. Weeks 1 and 2, that would be really quick to take a starter out after you just told them, hey, you won the starting job at a camp. Week 3 at the New York Giants, again, that's still really early to make a change, and you're on the road. Week 4 against the Baltimore Ravens, still pretty early, but now we're getting towards the element of, all right, if Volson's struggling, maybe we could go to the rookie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want a rookie making his first start if I could help it against the Houston Texans.
I'm going to be real.
And that defense in week 5. What?
I am personally okay with him day 1 starting.
Fernando Carmona?
Hell yeah.
What makes you think that?
Because this is a conversation I feel like we had a couple of weeks ago. I feel like you can somewhat hide that position with a very veteran Sloatman and, of course, with JC right beside him as well. I think you have the ability with having Fernando Carmona and JC beside each other as them being your mauler side. I want to see them kind of grow up a little bit. And the other side of it as well is like it's just like it's college way. Like David Sander Jr. had to go through it. You have to go through the fire. There's no easy way to kind of really just throw you into the deep end other than just doing it. And if you have the ability to be at home to work with, no crowd noise behind you and be at home for those first 4 games, basically, 2 preseason, then 2 home games. What better way to do it than just that way? I am 100% okay if he proves to still be on that trajectory to be day 1 starter.
There may not be a player with more to prove Thursday night against the San Francisco 49ers than Fernando Carmona and the other right guards. I mean, that to me is going to be the most interesting thing to watch because I think we're going to see a lot of these offensive linemen who could start and play early, play a lot of football in preseason. It's going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. Interesting. A week ago, we were not saying this.
No.
Things can change quickly in training camp. Last season, before the Titans went to Atlanta, James Williams was starting next to Cody Barton. After the Titans played the Falcons, Cedric Gray was starting next to Cody Barton. And look what Cedric Gray did with his year 2 season.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Slater's not out of it. Cordell Volson is certainly not out of it, considering he's listed as the starter. But right now, Fernando Carmona is trending up at right guard. And if you're only as bad as your worst offensive lineman, that's why this matters. And that's why it's critical for Cam Ward's development in a pivotal second season.
Facts.
Austin Price joins us with the latest at a Tennessee fall camp after this. Are you or someone you love having difficulty hearing conversations when there's background noise? Maybe you struggle in those conversations at noisy restaurants or sporting events. Well, I'm here to tell you about Brentwood Hearing Center. What's up? It's Will Bowling with 4 doctors of audiology, the latest diagnostic equipment, and the most recent hearing device technology. Brentwood Hearing Center will arrive at a hearing solution that fits your individual need. There's no one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf hearing aid that works for everyone. Brentwood Hearing Center's team of audiologists will first talk to you, learn where you are most challenged to hear, perform diagnostic testing, and demonstrate devices that will help you in those situations where you find it difficult to hear. Give them a call today at 615-377-0420 or reach out to them via their website at brentwoodhearingcenter.com. Again, that's 615-377-0420 or online at brentwoodhearingcenter.com. Brentwood Hearing Center, better hearing, better life. A Monday glass break on Ramon and Will. Crew's all here in studio. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined by our good friend Austin Price of VolQuest. Tennessee fall camp is underway as we get the latest nuggets out of Knoxville. Good morning, Austin. How are you?
Good Monday morning, everybody. How are we doing?
We are excellent.
Austin, good morning.
We are excellent. Austin, what have you learned? What's your biggest takeaway so far watching Tennessee fall camp officially get started?
I think the biggest thing I've learned is Tennessee is a much bigger, more physical team. I like where they're at on the defensive line. I think they're got a lot of quality depth on the offensive line. I like the players they have basically at every position. I don't feel like, there's any position where you're like, okay, I just don't think they're very good there. Now, I think there's some positions of mystery, like tight end's a mystery to me, right? Because there's not a lot of proven players at tight end. Even Ethan Davis has, struggled to stay healthy even early in fall camp even, but overall. And so that's a position of mystery to me. And, of course, quarterback's a position of mystery to everybody because you don't know kind of how this quarterback battle is going to play out. I know everybody had Faison penciled in, pegged in, whatever. But I think this is a true quarterback competition as we head into this first scrimmage coming up on Saturday.
Austin Price of VolQuest with us. How significant, Austin, is this weekend scrimmage for the quarterback battle? And how hard will it be for maybe whoever doesn't perform as well this weekend to climb up the hill again and respond after this thing? How much of a tone setter is this weekend?
I think it's a tone setter for the potential decision, later in fall camp. Absolutely will. I don't think it's a hill that you can't reclimb or climb back out of. I think obviously this is going to give someone a leg up as we head into the meat of this battle to see who Tennessee's starting quarterback is going to be. They do enough 11-on-11 work during practice that the coaches already are seeing, kind of who's managing and all that type of stuff. But absolutely, these two scrimmages will tell the tale in this thing. Both this Saturday and the following Saturday will, to me, determine who Josh Heupel picks as his starting quarterback. Again, everybody had Faison pegged all summer long because that was the narrative, right? And what did we say? George has to go out and win this thing. He has to go out and prove he can handle it all. And from all accounts, has had a nice, strong start to fall camp. Now, at the end of the day, how you do in these scrimmages will likely dictate whether you're the starting quarterback or not. So, the 11-on-11 work in practice matters, and it's a nice, appetizer, but the main course of this competition will be decided in scrimmage work this Saturday and the following Saturday.
We're joined by Austin Price of VolQuest and On 3 this morning on this Monday morning, talking Vols camp. Austin, man, what does this Jaden Harmon's injury mean to the linebacker room moving forward this year?
It means to me that Braden Rouse and T.J. White get that much closer to the field. Jaden Harmon was going to be in a battle to get any kind of real reps just because they're so deep, right? I mean, Maury Campbell and obviously Arion Carter and Jeremiah Thielander and Evan Spillman and Jaden Perlotti. And there's just a lot of quality depth at linebacker. So in my mind, it just means that the two true freshmen, T.J. White and Braden Rouse, will now become more prevalent on the back end of the linebacker rotation because ultimately there's only so many snaps to go around. Now, I do think that Jim Knowles will be creative with the lack of Leos or the lack of quality proven Leos. I think he'll be very creative with how he uses the linebackers. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're going to see two linebackers on the field. I think you can see as many as four. I think that he will be very creative with how he uses the linebackers this fall. So obviously that allows more opportunity for everybody in that room. And let's face it, Tennessee is extremely deep, even with the injury to Harmon and the as of now, 2-game suspension for Arian Carter, they're still extremely deep at that position.
As far as the other side of the ball, man, how's Ori Williams looked at right tackle, and how open is that competition on the right side of this offensive line?
I think it's very open. He's looked solid. I don't think he's got it locked down right now, Ramon. Based off people I have spoken to, he has looked better in fall camp than he looked in spring, which is a positive sign because they needed him to take a step. They have been still rotating a lot. They have been giving Jesse Perry a lot of run at tackle along with guard. And when that happens, you see Donovan Haslam, you see Shamu Marab, you see Wendell Moy, getting a run at tackle beside Perry, or run at guard, with Perry as the tackle. So the one interesting note is, last year, Sham only played on the left side, never rotated. In fall camp to this point, he's played left, but he also has dabbled on the right side, which, again, gives him more opportunities if you can learn to play both guard positions.
Austin Price of AllQuest, our guest this morning here on Ramon and Will. Austin, at wide receiver, with that battle to be the third guy out there, who is gaining maybe an early edge there as Tristan Keys tries to get back to 100%, Rodarius Jackson, Travis Smith, and some freshmen as well. Another local kid from Catholic, Austin, impressing there as well.
Yeah, Tyreek King's played predominantly slot, along with Joakim Dotson, trying to battle out to see who the number 2 is going to be behind Braylon Staley. But I think it's way too early to say that anybody's made a real move for the wide receiver position to be filled by that was left voided by Chris Brazel's departure to the NFL. I think this thing's got a lot of time to marinate. Travis Smith, I'm told, has had a strong start to fall camp. He was not as strong in the spring, so that's a positive sign for him. And then, Ra obviously came in with a little bit more momentum than Smith did. And then Tristan Keys was limited the first couple of days, but I'm told has now started to be kind of not limited and really allowed to kind of go and just play and play free. So he's got to prove he can handle it from the mental side of things. I mean, freshmen predominantly in this offense have not been as quick to the field because of the knowledge you have to possess to play the wide receiver position. We'll see if Tristan Keys is the opposite of that. We'll see if he can pick it up and potentially win that number 3 spot and have a chance to start alongside Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley.
Austin, you mentioned the size and speed factor with this team. Where do you see the Derek Owings effect on this team the most at this point? A specific part of the team, kind of all across the board? Like, what is different to you specifically about how Derek Owings has reshaped this football team?
I think it's everything. I don't think it's one particular position. I think it's how he's shaped Tyree Weathersby and Nathan Robinson on the defensive line, and what he's done for David Sanders on the offensive line. And you look at every position, the guys are just so dramatically bigger, right? I mean, Tristan Keys looks dramatically different from the spring. I look at George McIntyre, and everybody loves to talk about Faison, and rightfully so. I mean, he's a specimen. But the people that think George McIntyre is still a stick, now listen, George's body composition, as someone told me back in the spring, George could be 230 and would still be skinny looking, okay? Yeah. But if you look at a picture, like I think it was Eric Ainge put out pictures of him with his son and the quarterbacks the last few years, and like the picture of George last year in that picture and the picture of George this year in that picture, two different guys. I mean, he is dramatically bigger in the grand scheme of things. Now, again, he's still skinny. He's not out there, looking like he's getting ready to go for, Mr. Olympia. But, I mean, like, he looks dramatically bigger than what he did last year, especially in the arms and even in the legs. And so I think Derek Owings has been able to have an impact across the board. It's not just one position or just the line of scrimmage. I think it's at every position whether it be from punter right down to the offensive and defensive line.
With Ty Redmond a little hurt right now, man, how much has he been missed, and what's the latest on his return to the practice field, Oz?
Yeah, they hope to get him back. I think probably. If I were a betting man, I would say coming out of the scrimmage. I mean, he's got to acclimate. So he's not going to, in the perfect world, you'd like to have him out there, doing stuff on the side so you can have him ready to go coming out of the scrimmage. Like late this week, let him start to acclimate, get through the 2 days, and then go into shoulder pads and all that. So Trey Poteet stepped up. Obviously Kayan Lee's been the best corner on the field for Tennessee to this point. I like this. I like the opportunities with this because he'll be back. It's not like he's going to miss any kind of real time, but it's also forcing. It's kind of like the tight ends. Ethan Davis it's not ideal to have him miss, but it forces Brame and Luka Wolf and those guys to have more opportunities to step up. Same thing at corner. Without Ty Redmond, you're forcing some of these younger corners to, whether it's the true freshmen like, Zayden Anderson or Jamian Theodore or so on and so forth. It forces them to be thrown into the fire, thrown into the deep end. And you find out if they can swim.
No doubt about it, man. Speaking of the corners, though, too, are you worried about their depth now without Jadaius Richard and who may need to step up there with these guys not being in practice right now, Austin? Where are you looking for answers at that position?
Yeah, I mean, you need Tim Merritt to step up. You need Tim Merritt and you need Trey Poteet, two guys who are now in year 2, to be somebody you can count on. Obviously, they're not as deep there as I think they are even the safety. I think that's probably the biggest jump on the team is the play at safety this fall. Based off everybody I've talked to, is just everybody is very excited about the change in depth, the change in talent at the safety position. But at corner, they need Merritt, they need Poteet to be real playmakers for them, even as backups, because you never know. I mean, a year ago, you thought Ricky Gibson was going to be fine. All of a sudden, he's out for the year. So you need guys to step up, and Merritt and Poteet, to me, make the most sense.
Austin, man, it's one thing that, like, social media clips can do for you as far as, like, saying, yeah, this looks good and that doesn't. I'll tell you what, whoever posted the David Gabriel George run that he had in this scrimmage where defenders, Austin, had an angle on him and still couldn't catch him, that's why he's a 5-star, right?
He's phenomenal. And, at the end of the day, he's only going to continue to get better. Physically, he is put together. He has a buy-in in the weight room that Coach Kemery and everybody at Baylor, they'll just marvel at. And he is very much driven, self-driven. They don't have to coach him a whole lot in terms of, like, effort. Like, it's just something that he brings to the table. He wants to be great. They don't have to, like, just lay on him to get out on the practice field, get in the weight room, any of those things. Probably have to say, whoa, not sick 'em, right? And he's a talented kid, and I'm interested to kind of see where he goes from here because I think he got, 2 carries the other night. He obviously had the 54-yard touchdown, but then he also had one where, he had, 9 guys from Buford on his back, and he still carried them for, a handful of yards in what should have been probably a negative yardage play. He turns it into, a several-yard gain there around the line of scrimmage. So he's just kind of got that it factor to him. And as somebody told me at Baylor last week, he's even better than he was a year ago, which is scary.
And Buford's not a throwaway scrimmage.
Buford is a powerhouse.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Buford's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's an impressive outing for DGG and his total of 2 carries.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Austin Price joining us this morning, a day early as we move some things around Titans preseason coverage in our travel this week. Austin, appreciate you as always. We'll do it again next week. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Austin.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Austin Price. Appreciate his flexibility on a Monday morning visit here today. Yeah, Buford is one of the powerhouse high school football programs in America.
Are they the ones that just revealed the big football stadium in Georgia?
I believe they are. They're green and gold. They've got literally a stadium.
Yeah. It's like $13 million stadium.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
That was real competition. It wasn't school of the blind. Like, he was playing some really good people. No, what I'm getting at was that was good on good.
You're right.
He beat the angle of cornerbacks that will play at Division I levels and safeties.
Two of the best high school football programs in America between Baylor and Buford right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was eye-opening, man, but really good stuff, too. He gave a great nugget on the linebackers.
I think he gave a great nugget on quarterback.
Yeah, he did.
All I will say is this to the Tennessee fans out there. Continue to keep an open mind. It feels to me, Ramon, I don't know how it feels to you, like the Faison Brandon hype has gotten a little bit too loud. And that the buzz and the rumor mill and just the overall desire for this fan base to go ahead and crown Faison Brandon before the competition has really, in a lot of ways, even started, to me feels premature.
Faison's a new kid on campus.
100%. And I'm not surprised, and nor should I be surprised. But George McIntyre, according to Austin, had a good start last week.
I think it just shows you what you've said numerous times. Like, Coach Heupel and his staff know how to recruit quarterbacks. That's the biggest take that I have from this more than anything.
The thing that I think is sad and unfortunate is that every social media post right now I see of George McIntyre has comments under it of wonder where he's going to transfer to. Oh, Faison's my quarterback. Oh, we can't start this guy. Faison's my guy. Tennessee fans, just powder dry. Let's all take a deep breath, because you might be ready to delete those comments if George McIntyre wins the job and lights up Georgia Tech.
Yeah, seriously.
We cannot false start here on who the quarterback is going to be, and don't make it harder. I promise you these guys read these comments. I promise you they do.
You was about to say something I thought you was going to. Don't make it hard on yourself being a fan.
Well, don't make it harder on a guy who might ultimately win the job.
Yeah.
Going ahead and making this Faison Brandon's job to lose right now. If George does win it, you're making it harder for him if you go ahead and are an opponent versus a fan and a teammate of his. I don't know. I feel like I was on TikTok the other day, and it was a Knoxville News Sentinel clip of George McIntyre talking about the quarterback battle. Very classy, good comments, good things to say. All the comments are he already knows where he's transferring. He's out. He's got one foot out the door. Gosh, this guy doesn't sound exciting. Man, and then everything under the Faison video is my quarterback, my GOAT, going to lead us to the promised land. 10-2 this year, Faison at the helm. What are we doing, man? I know the freshman quarterback is always the most popular guy, but it feels a little out of control.
You know what I do love?
Powder dry.
You know what I do love, and I love it to my core.
What's that?
It's not just us.
Oh, no. It's definitely not just us.
Vandy, it's got clips of side-by-sides of Blaze Berlowitz and Jared Curtis throwing the same route. And it's just quarterback competition, side-by-side.
And I'm not sure Jared Curtis is starting week 1 for Vanderbilt either.
I'm thinking to myself, we're all sickos about this thing called football.
And Clark Lee is very smart to temper the expectations for Jared Curtis every time he speaks. And I thought Clark Lee was very intelligent in the way that he framed that quarterback battle to say, no, Jared's not been promised anything.
Yeah.
You always want everybody on your team, even a quarterback, to go earn everything that they are given. And that is the case for both of the in-state quarterback battles right now between Tennessee and Vanderbilt.
I love the word we're proclaiming winners and losers of quarterback competitions by simple throws.
On social media clips.
Yeah.
Newsflash, there is nothing that we are going to be able to learn based off social media clips. Recruiting departments and video departments and head coaches make it very clear in what they allow the video and social media people to put out there that there is nothing that we are going to be able to learn from scrolling on Twitter. I promise you.
See, Vandy, we're all just the same, baby.
Well, in that way, we're the same. 615-737-1045. NFL headlines out of the weekend for you coming up next.
It's Ramon for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Good people, nobody likes dealing with those issues, especially this time of the year. Whether it be your plumbing, your HVAC, or an electrical emergency, if it's an HVAC and something's going on, it's hot in Tennessee, and we suffer from that, man. I'm telling you, Hiller's the company that you want to reach out to, and it's for this reason. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you if it'll get fixed right, or if somebody's trying to sell you something you don't need. When you reach out to Hiller, the experts, they solve your problems quickly, and the price that you're told is the price that you will actually pay with no hidden fees or surprises on your bill whatsoever. When they're done with the job, they'll bring you their tablet, show you everything that they've done, show you the service costs as far as supplies goes, with nothing extra at the end of your bill. They've been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. Their techs are the folks that come to your house. Very professional, experienced, and they're very trustworthy also. And when they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time, so you're not sitting around wasting your time. They believe in 100% satisfaction every single time. Their motto is, after your bill, the service is free, and they do mean that. If you're not satisfied with the work, they'll just simply hand you your money back. Listen, to learn more about Hiller, simply head over to happyhiller.com.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Let's go to 1319 Foster Avenue. Visit mid10fordtrucks.com. What's happening? What's happening, good people? Let me go on and tell you while you're walking into your weekend what you need to be looking for. That is a truck. Yeah, Mid-10 Ford, they got you covered. They're going to take care of you. All you got to do is slide in there and let them know, hey, man, Big Slay told me. And they will look out for you. Go in there and holler at my guys, Trey, Matt. They're going to be right there to help you walk through the process of going to get your truck. And guess what? It's nothing that's going to be pressure, no high pressure, just low pressure approach, no gimmicks, no pushy sales tactics. That's not what they're about. They're about getting the job done and getting you comfortable and understanding exactly what you're getting into. It's a one-stop shop. If you need service, Mid-10 Ford, they got you covered. They are the ones you need to be looking for. When it comes to the right vehicle, they got you covered. even a body shop, service, financing, sales, they got it, all of that. All you got to do is go to 1319 Foster Avenue. Visit mid10fordtrucks.com.
Wrapping up hour number 3. Ramon Will on 104.5 The Zone, and wherever you download podcasts at the end of the show. If you like what you hear, if you want more on Cam Ward earlier in the morning, wherever you download audio, Ramon and Will is available for your free subscription wherever you download podcasts. Did you see the uproar over the new Buffalo Bills Stadium over the weekend?
I did. I recently saw it. Yes.
Highmark Stadium looks okay at the just 30,000 foot view, but maybe not in the view of some of the seats. Lot of obstructed views in the $2.2 billion Highmark Stadium, and it looks like they took the old Georgia Dome Jumbotron and just slapped it in there in the year of our Lord 2026.
Man, hear me out. Tough place to be in, especially when you open up a new building that you can't make many adjustments on. Like, engineers, they get paid for this type of stuff. And the way also the rain wasn't capable of staying out. I saw people rushing up out to get underneath the carriage, get over underneath the dome, I guess, a little bit. And it was very fascinating that they weren't as pleased, as good as this stadium looks. Like, that was, I didn't have that on my bingo card, Will, that they were going to have this many issues. I can't wait till a snow game was just playing right in the middle, like all this snow is in the middle of the field.
Having been there, it looks like Tottenham, where London games are played at the smallest club in London, a team that'll never win an English Premier League. It's really what it looks like. The steep grade, I didn't lie. I wasn't joking.
There's no lie to be told.
Yeah, tiniest club in all the land. It looks nice. It looks nice. I think the biggest issue, all right, it's easy to cherry pick because a lot of stadiums, you can go up to the very top and the very corner and there's an obstructed view and those seats aren't sold. I think the bigger concern is some of these like front row of sections in the upper deck views where you've got stairs and then like a plexiglass wall that's blocking the field. That to me is not great.
Yeah, it's not great, especially when I'm sure their price of tickets probably went up. Not only do we got to be cold, but I also got to have this plexiglass in front of me as well. When you spend this much money, get rid of an old historic stadium that they have in Buffalo as well, Orchard Park, man, that really takes, I guess, the excitement away. But here's what they do know. Those Bills fans going to show up. They're going to crash through tables, and they're going to have the biggest party ever in the parking lot right next door. So it'll all be fine. Maybe those folks who have those issues as far as their viewer point get a discount on their tickets. Like, that's the one thing that I guess you can ask for in those type of moments, especially as rabid as they are as fans too. So, again, this type of build should have been fully thought of when it comes down to, I'm sure, what their fans are paying as far as the premium goes. You just don't want that.
We just got a comment from Vandy Chris on YouTube that said, if the wheels come off for Josh Heupel this season and Dan Mullen can get UNLV to the playoff, is it time to take a look?
Where does Dan Mullen come into this? He's auctioning off his team, last I heard.
Take a look at what?
Chris, here's what I would tell you. As much good, and I like you, Chris. I like V-Man as well. But as much good as Heupel has brought to the University of Tennessee, that's just like Clark Lee being fired because he goes 5-7 this year. You're not going to have that. It's not under discussion at this point.
With the team Tennessee has put together now for 2027, if that plan stays together and is seen through, of whoever's at quarterback, David Gabriel George's, the 5 stars you have on offense with Jim Knowles in a second-year system in 2027, that seat warmer's not even on for Josh Heupel. There are a lot of folks around this sport very high on the ascension that Tennessee is heading into in 2027.
Yeah, you ain't even took the ground beef out the fridge on this one as far as a hot play goes. Like, we ain't even unthawed the meat yet from the freezer. We're talking about it. Like,
oh, goodness.
I get the hate, though. I love the hate that we have.
Oh, for sure.
Between Vandy and Tennessee. It's beautiful. This is what we were looking for when we speak about Vandy getting good. It's like, pipe in the noise a little bit more. I'm here for it. But remember, you also got a freshman quarterback, too.
Maybe. We'll see. I'm not so sure he's the week 1 starter, based on what we've read.
Yeah, I'm not here for Vandy slander. I'm here for the competition that we have with the two. Yeah, no, I'm just saying because I think I think some view that we do this job as a very pro Vols and anti-Vandy, and it's not that.
Oh, yeah, I don't care about their opinions.
Like, we both fan bases. You idiot.
No, I'm serious. Anyone who thinks that isn't actually listening to the words we're saying.
Like, both fan bases have had people tweet out videos of quarterbacks in competition throwing footballs.
Yeah, right.
One, like, throwing motions is just totally different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tell me when there's a post on the message boards. Then I will learn something.
No, seriously.
Tell me when we've got writers on who know what's going on behind closed doors. Then we will learn something.
No doubt.
We ain't learning anything on social media.
I love it. What I mean by that, Chris, is good sports hate, not hate.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. The way y'all tweeted us and the way we tweeted you, it is some hate involved in that, Chris. It's okay to acknowledge the sports hate, just not real life hate.
615-737-1045 is our number. A retirement unexpectedly yesterday in the NFL. Could have had a Titans connection until quickly a former Vol filled the job. So what we mean by that coming up next as Hour 4 Ramon Will begins after this. What's going on? It's Will Bowling for my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. Brentwood Jewelry always takes care of you. And whether you are looking to get engaged, whether you're looking for that anniversary gift, birthdays, you could be thinking about Christmas. I mean, it's not that far away. As we sit here in August today, Brentwood Jewelry has you covered. And Brentwood Jewelry is locally owned and operated. Their business, spanning 3 generations, has been proudly serving the Middle Tennessee community for years. And they take care of you when you walk in the doors. You know that it is a family-owned and operated business because they treat you that way all the time. And I can personally vouch for how easy they made all of my process of going through a wedding a couple of months ago. Engagement ring, wedding bands, the additional bling, timepiece dealer as well. They got everything that you need. 7012 Church Street East, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Shop local by heading online to BrentwoodJewelry.com. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for over 50 years. Online at BrentwoodJewelry.com.
9:02, good morning, live from the Circus Sports at the Mint Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. It's game week for the Titans as they take on the 49ers in Santa Clara on Thursday night for preseason game number 1. No practice today as the team travels, but we'll have joint practice with the 49ers coming up tomorrow. NFL news this morning, Commanders head coach Dan Quinn confirmed that left tackle Laramie Tunsil will undergo surgery on his torn triceps. There is not a timeline until after surgery, but is expected to miss significant time, if not the season. In New England, the Patriots have agreed to terms with tight end Hunter Henry on a 2-year, $16 million contract extension worth up to $20 million. The 31-year-old had a career high in receiving yards last season with 768 yards on 60 receptions, hauling in 7 touchdowns. And in Chicago, wide receiver Luther Burden is expected to miss the preseason due to a strained groin injury that he suffered on Saturday. The Bears do believe, though, that he should be back for the team's regular season opener versus the Carolina Panthers. And Nashville SC had a dominant 4-1 win last night over Atletico de San Luis in their Leagues Cup match. Nashville will end Phase 1 of Leagues Cup when they face CS Monterrey at George Park on Wednesday. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into the fourth and final hour of the show. Ramon and Will rolls on. Ramon and I somewhat disagree on how a couple of wide receivers could be used in the Tennessee Titans offense in 2026. We'll talk more about that coming up here in 15 minutes. Stream it live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, where you can watch, comment, and subscribe. Have you subscribed to the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel? Because if you haven't, you have a very special opportunity to be our 20,000th subscriber.
Come on.
Quickly approaching 20K on the 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel. Thank you to so many of you who have made that community such an active one over the past couple of years. And thank you to those of us who... thank you to those of you who join us every morning. We appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. Let's go ahead and hit 20K, man.
We are 100 subscribers away.
What is it, like a quarter of a calorie ought to be burned if you push the button on the laptop as well?
Sure.
Why not go ahead and start your Monday off right, man?
It's a great idea.
Beginning of the week.
Great idea.
For all of you that already have and heard this message before, sorry. It's always the other part that gets you in trouble, man.
That's exactly right.
That's all that is.
That's exactly right. So Teddy Bridgewater is retiring again, stepping away from the Detroit Lions, officially placed on the reserve/retired list ahead of Sunday's practice. Head coach Dan Campbell says he believes retirement will stick this time for Teddy Bridgewater, who previously retired after the 2023 season, only to return to the Lions the next season. And the Lions did not waste any time finding their next backup, Joshua Dobbs. 1 year, $1.4 million, $475K, fully guaranteed. We're talking about fully guaranteed money on backup quarterbacks in August. I mean, agents and national reporters really take no days off. Second stint for the Lions with Dobbs. He was on the practice squad in Detroit in 2022. Spent last season, of course, as Drake May's backup with the New England Patriots. I'll be honest. My hunch when I initially saw this news was a Will Levis suitor has entered the chat. And very quickly, a Will Levis suitor then exited the chat. Ramon. Are we moving toward Will Levis just being released? Or is it in the best interest of the Titans to keep him on the roster if there is not a trade partner by the end of preseason?
You talking about as far as like the 53-man roster?
Yep.
Keep him as the best?
As a third quarterback?
Nah. I don't. Will Levis is very high strong. He wants a better opportunity. I think he wants a different city, and I don't think he'll be able to just fulfill his dreams as it pertains to him trying to be a starter in this league, or at least increase his value in this league. You watch him, man, and you see the want in his face. Like, you just see it in his drive. Like, and he has some good moments, and then it got tweeted out, of course, a clip of him going viral of him slipping on the sideline and tossing the football over to Femi Oladejo on the sideline. Like, it just, those moments pop up. But, like, it was a comment that was kind of brought up in our YouTube chat. You guys can catch us there and also subscribe as well. It's just like I refuse to just go on the bash train with him, and there's no bashing I don't think we've done other than the fact that this is probably not the best opportunity for him in Nashville, Tennessee. It's just not. The crowd is loud. I do on both sides, the support of him and also just like, what are we doing? And I can't fault a guy in Will Levis for trying to make himself more relevant on the team. But here's the thing about it. He's got two guys in front of him that are not going to let up. And I think a very cemented on this team is roster locks, barring an injury. Cam ain't going anywhere no matter what. And Mitch Trubisky, I mean, he's the savvy vet.
He was brought here to be the backup.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where are you at on it? So to answer your last question, I think he'll just be cut.
I think if there isn't an injury, then yeah, that's what we're moving toward.
Yeah.
That's what we're moving toward. I just don't think there's an obvious suitor out there right now, honestly.
So far, that clip doesn't help.
There is a class right now of mid to late round first and second year quarterbacks that I think organizations are more eager to give opportunities to ahead of Levis, like Carson Beck in Arizona, like the two quarterbacks in Pittsburgh, Will Howard and Drew Aller,
right?
Like Cade Klubnik with the New York Jets. I mean, like Malik Willis. That's not a first or second year player, but Malik Willis in Miami. There just seems to be this group of, well, maybe quarterbacks that haven't had the experience to show us what they really are when in a live game setting yet, that teams are going to give opportunities to. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, those types of players are keeping Will Levis from playing football this year. Because Will Levis is kind of a tweener right now. He's kind of a backup for a contender team that could come in if you felt like you didn't love what your QB2 was giving you in camp or in preseason games. Hey, maybe Will Levis is the type of guy that if our starter gets hurt in a place like Buffalo.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure he's the best fit there either because, again, you're talking about a new system. You're talking about a player that isn't just move the ball point A to point B. You're talking about a player with potential who's also prone to make big mistakes, who is more of a project. And you typically don't see contending teams bring in a project as a backup quarterback.
No doubt.
They are going with a known commodity, Mac Jones, who isn't going to make a ton of mistakes, can just manage the game, can just keep the train moving. But he also, again, is that kind of developmental prospect, and that's where you become in competition with the Carson Becks of the world, who are seen as, well, maybe, but not right now, type quarterbacks.
I had a friend of mine text me, was like, what about New England with Vrabel? Like, there's an opportunity, but, like, Drake May ain't going anywhere.
Right.
And, like, I think the choice, like, that Will Levis has as far as where he wants to go would probably be where it's an unstable starter in place. Or like you said, somebody is at a higher risk of getting injured, like a Josh Allen.
That's my thing. Like, I don't know if a contending team is going to trust Will Levis enough in a pinch to play backup quarterback.
No doubt.
Right now, Tommy DeVito is the backup in New England. I mean, I think Will Levis is a better quarterback than Tommy DeVito. I mean, heck, Will Levis is a better overall thrower and athlete than a lot of starters around this league.
I agree.
But it's not really about that, especially not when you're a backup.
You know, the other part that's terrible for him, and it's not his fault, it's just how he's played, that these clips and conversations that get out about him creates a loud conversation around a guy who's essentially a backup quarterback.
And being loud and creating conversation
as a backup
is not a good thing when you are a backup quarterback.
No. Like Dobbs. Look at Dobbs. Dobbs basically got pretty much secured a roster on the Detroit Lions. He got $475,000 to sign, so $1 million base for him.
Let's do this. Let's go through all the backup quarterbacks of the NFL. And I want you to tell me if you would rather have the backup quarterback or Will Levis. Fair?
As a backup?
As a backup quarterback.
Backup. Okay, number 2. Okay.
So, all right, we just talked about Arizona. That's Gardner Minshew. I mean, Arizona's got more quarterbacks than they know what to do with.
Yeah, they do.
Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, Carson Beck.
I'm taking Minshew or Carson Beck.
In Atlanta, it is Michael Penix or Tua.
I think
again, more quarterbacks than they know what to do with.
Based off of that, I'm taking Tua and Penix.
Baltimore, Tyler Huntley. System fit, guy who's been around. I think Tyler Huntley is a fit there.
Go Ty Huntley.
Buffalo is an interesting one because it's Kyle Allen there. I think Will Levis makes sense in Buffalo, and you know what their quarterback's coach is Bo Hardegree.
I would. How does Bo view Levis as well? Like, I love you
question.
because you're in my building. I might not even deal with you if I'm in Buffalo.
Kenny Pickett, the backup in Carolina. Haynes King might be the backup soon, though.
Haynes King. I was going to say over Kenny Pickett. I would take Levis over Kenny Pickett, but I'm taking Haynes King over Levis.
Tyson Bagent in Chicago, one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL.
I don't know if you can trust Levis in that offense.
Cincinnati has Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Cleveland has 4 quarterbacks, so they're not even up for discussion here.
Kenny Pickett reset himself in Cleveland. Somewhat. It was for a short window. Cleveland makes sense for Levis.
Really?
Yes.
With 4 quarterbacks already there?
Yes. Mike, who's in our chat, said that Cleveland's not satisfied with what Shador's got going on.
When is Cleveland satisfied?
That's true, which is why I think a place like Cleveland will be good for him. I just think for opportunity basis.
I don't think there's a lot of opportunity there, though, because they drafted Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. Where are the reps coming from? And they have Taylor Green.
Oh, yeah, they do got Taylor.
That's what I'm saying. They have 4 quarterbacks already.
If there was a place I was going to take him, I feel like it would be Cleveland, though.
Joe Milton in Dallas. Sam Howell is there as well.
Not the biggest Milton believer. I'd probably take Levis over Milton in their point in their careers.
Denver Broncos, Jarrett Stidham. That's another interesting one to me because Jarrett Stidham did not really give a whole lot of confidence in his backup quarterbacking ability. I think Denver could make sense there.
Yeah, it could.
With Sean Payton?
Yeah, it could.
Detroit with Joshua Dobbs. We know, obviously, they could have probably had, well, I don't know. That's probably not fair. Because you would have had to trade for Levis. But they have Dobbs.
Yeah.
Green Bay, Tyrod Taylor.
Give me Tyrod.
Yep. Agreed. Houston, Davis Mills. Yeah, that one's easy. That one's easy.
Yo.
Indianapolis, Anthony Richardson, Riley Leonard, and Easton Stick. I'm just going to kind of disqualify teams that have 4 quarterbacks.
Yes.
Until they have 3, I just think 4 quarterback teams make no sense.
No doubt.
Jacksonville's a 4 quarterback team. Trevor Lawrence, Nick Mullins, Carter Bradley, and Joey Aguilar. 4 quarterbacks there.
Yeah, I think he has no goal there. Even though that's his former OC.
It's his former coach in Liam Cohen. You know my feeling on that. You've got to overpay me if I'm going to trade a quarterback within the division.
For sure.
Justin Fields in Kansas City.
He don't got a shot there, in my opinion.
Yeah, give me Justin Fields.
Unless Mark Borgonzi can finesse him. That's Kansas City we're speaking of.
Las Vegas, the backup is Fernando Mendoza.
Not a shot. Not a shot.
Yeah, that's probably the least likely of any team for that reason, obviously. LA Chargers, Trey Lance.
No dice.
If I'm Levis, that's where I would want to go. Work with Mike McDaniel and backup Herbert.
He did his rehab out there, didn't he? Yeah, he did. Sure did.
So remember the Anaheim Ducks posted a picture with him like, thanks, Will Levis, for coming to a game today. And I think Nash, the Predators mascot, quoted it like,
Y'all don't treat him right.
I think that happened. Maybe I'm making that up. But I think
you're right.
They
did tweet that out.
LA Rams, Ty Simpson is technically, I guess, the 3rd string right now.
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett, the backup right now in LA.
Not a chance.
Miami Dolphins, Quinn Ewers, the backup in Miami. See, that's the kind of class of quarterback I'm talking about. There's a bunch of these 1st and 2nd year, 3rd to 7th round picks that you're like, oh, well, maybe.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Who's the starting quarterback at Miami?
Malik Willis. And reunited, and it feels so good.
Imagine that.
Minnesota Vikings, the backup is J.J. McCarthy. I mean, it seems to me like from a distance, Kyler Murray is QB1 in Minnesota.
Yeah.
New England, we talked about. New Orleans, I would not want to go to New Orleans if I was him. They have 4 quarterbacks anyway. Spencer Rattler, Zach Wilson, Hunter Deckers.
He can go there as a backup.
Backing up Tyler Shough.
Tyler Shoug's the guy, right.
I
would
4,
take
though.
out Rattler. Rattler's gone.
Okay.
He lost his spot already.
Okay.
Can't come back from that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there's no offense.
I'm kidding. New York Giants. Brian Callahan reunited, and it feels so good. Jameis Winston is the backup, and Brandon Allen is also their backup last year.
So, yeah, I don't think he has. Only saving grace he does have is probably Cali.
The New York Jets is the one where there were some maybe rumors over the offseason. Like I think the dog reporter had a Jets and Levis thing at some point that was out there, but that may have been the fake Ricky Scoops. I don't even remember.
Ricky Scoops.
So I'm not anything I'm putting any
stock
credence in. Yeah. Cade Klubnik, Brady Cook, and Bailey Zappi. It's always Zappi hour in New York.
Yeah, we've pretty much gone through everybody like that. That list is small. Here's what I do know. Teams love a project as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Andy Dalton, he's gone through it. Like, think about, Andy
Dalton's in Philly.
Yeah, there's no dice there either.
Mariota in Washington. Jake Browning, the backup now in Tampa. I mean, it's just a who's who of well, yeah, maybe. But until one of those guys gets hurt, it's an uphill battle for Will Levis. What we shouldn't do is just make things more difficult on him when he slips. I think, come on, it's a little harsh on social media anytime Levis does anything. Will Levis has made some good plays in training camp.
He has.
We're not totally going to crush the guy. And this exercise is not to crush him. It's simply an illustration of what options are out there for Will and for the team that makes sense.
We have a comment on our YouTube says somebody should ask Borgonzi point blank, are there any offers for Levis yet?
And we're going to get a point blank answer of, that's for me to know and for you to not know.
Are you dumb?
Yeah, no point even asking the question.
Nah, I feel where you're coming from on that one, but there's no real answer to be given on a trade. These trades usually happen and the news is broken. He's not going to give his hand on that one. But I would bet Levis's camp is trying to push that if I was him.
Sure, I would be too.
And you look at his situation, and you also look at Hendon's. Hendon's getting zero opportunity. It's a rough place to be at for 3 and 4 on teams sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just fascinating, how your career can go depending on your first intro.
I think Will has handled this training camp well in terms of just the situation that he's in. And the teammate that he has been, I've not seen any major issues with Will, and he could be really checked out if he wanted to be, but I've not seen that.
That's what I'm saying.
I've seen him trying to make plays and putting his best foot forward and showing confidence in himself. And for what it's worth, I'll commend him for that. I think he has shown up and done the work, and in a situation that is not an enviable one for anyone in this league.
No, because somebody in our chat I want him gone. He's bad juju. Nah. The dude, I think, is a solid guy.
Yeah. Brian says he looked terrible yesterday. He'll fit in well with the UFL or CFL.
Oh, my God.
See, that's kind of what I'm talking about. That's harsh. That's Will Levis is not a UFL quarterback, in my opinion, is he? He's not a Birmingham Stallion.
He could be.
He's going to go, I think, somewhere to another NFL team before he goes to. I mean, what are we doing?
We just went through all this and didn't have a valid spot for him.
Sure, we'll have someone that's going to trade for him.
No.
Somebody will pick him up.
Somebody will pick him up. I don't think anybody's giving any value. That's why I told you offer me a bag of sold. I don't care what the bag is full of. What's sold.
Yeah, I think it's going to be due to injury if there is a landing spot there.
Offer me something right now.
I mean, do you want this cup of water that's
sold?
Empty? What about what else is over here? You want some Lysol spray?
Sold.
Where's my penalty flag? Oh, you want a Brett Kern bobblehead with no right arm?
You put in
or no right wrist? Sorry, Brett.
You break the other wrist. Sold.
Oh, it's a bobble leg. Look at this. I didn't know that. That's cool.
He's a punter.
Well, I know he's a punter.
Stop flicking it, okay? Stop.
It's a bobblehead. It's for children.
I don't like how you flicking
and
his
for
leg.
adults. See it?
You continue to flick the leg. Stop.
It's a punter.
Stop.
615-737-1045 is our number. Son, people can see you. Parks and Rec. I love Parks and Rec. When we come back, at what point could Elikiah Manor become a starter for the Tennessee Titans? We'll take a look at the depth chart and take a look at the future of the Tennessee Titans at wide receiver after this.
A day at the spa, the perfect gift for birthdays, anniversaries, or any occasion. Lavish and luxurious, yet affordable. A grand gesture, yet simple for you. The gift card from A Moment's Peace. Give her the gift she won't buy herself. An escape, a bit of luxury. Something special that shows more than just words. A gift from A Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa in Cool Springs across I-65 from Galleria Mall. Call 615-224-0770 or go online at amomentspeace.com anytime.
Hour 4 of the program, Monday morning, a preseason game week. Welcome back, football. We will be dividing and conquering the rest of the week. You will be at the joint practice tomorrow with the San Francisco 49ers, and I'll join you out there Wednesday. We'll do the show from there Thursday.
Yeah.
And then don't you worry, because we will be back here to do the show Friday in studio.
What a privilege it is. What a privilege it is.
Yes, it is.
This will be one of my first times. I have done the cross-country flight. I think it might have been like when they were in San Diego still, the Chargers, back to Pittsburgh, and you get in and it's 4 o'clock.
I'm going to go on record here. 9:30. Part of this is me speaking it into existence. I'm excited. I'm excited to do the show on maybe 1 hour of sleep or plain sleep Friday. No, good. Turn it up to expert mode. Turn the sliders up all the way.
I'm not going to sleep. I'm telling you right now.
I'll sleep on the plane on the way back.
It's so hard for me to sleep on the plane. Here's where
I'm sorry.
I guess the privilege of it is like they'll be able to get in and out of the checkpoint, security checkpoint and stuff like
It'll
that.
Move quickly, right?
I kind of want to land right as the show was starting. I'm going to be real with you.
I mean, we're not going to be far off.
I'd much rather it be like land at 4:15, get off the plane into the studio like 5:10 or something like that.
I think that's what's probably going to happen.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Good. And Justin's going to be like, and you guys will still be more rested than me because I have a newborn.
No kidding.
I saw Hawk this morning. We were having dad talk. Me, Hawk, Rich, and Ekibop was around this circle. Like, my wife was too. I was telling Hawk, I was like, you ain't had a real blowout with baby T-Hawk just yet.
Jinxed it.
What happened Saturday evening?
Literally, like 2 hours later, had a big old blowout. I was like, dude, you jinxed it. This is your fault. I blame you and nobody else but you.
Uncle Mo set you up, man. That's on me, Hawk.
It's a crappy way to spend a weekend.
It really is. It absolutely is, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to this joint practice. My biggest, I guess, question I have, how does Coach Saleh's former defensive players act in front of him?
Good question.
There's a prove it moment. It has to be.
Did you ever have a joint practice against one of your former coaches?
No, not against one of my former coaches, but I have played against teams that have had my former coaches on them. And I felt like in my mind that he's told them all of my weaknesses. He's told them all of my, and that is the other side of it though too, is Coach Saleh will know how to attack these guys. I don't think he's going to be giving out, answers to the tests and stuff like that. But the expectation of how the 49ers are going to attack is already there. It's already there.
Yeah.
And that's the anxiety part of performing for your former coach and also for the new DC that they have out there in San Francisco.
Commenter on YouTube says, sleepy radio on Friday. No, we will. This show will never be sleepy.
Listen.
We're a lot of things. I promise you sleepy is not one of them.
I'm going to go get me a bomb energy drink, and I'm going to be wired. Do you hear me?
We are going to be like extra wired.
Wired.
Now, our families will get sleepy interactions with us the rest of the weekend. Like on Friday night and Saturday. But now Friday morning, we're going to be on 10. We're going to be ready to go.
And I'm not a daytime sleeper in general. I just am not. My wife gets on me, you need to take a nap. I'm like, I can't.
I love a nap so much.
But then on Friday, we also have another scrimmage, too. The freshman team does.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. We got one today that I'm going to miss, though, too. So, man, hopefully my Beach Buccaneers can get the job done, man. I know they will.
It could be fun.
It will be fun.
Football season is back.
Scrimmages, we didn't have this many coming up. Do you remember your high school?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
We had
how many? Like 3 or 4?
And like this is be the third, and there's a fourth one on Friday.
Yeah, that's about right.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's that where I went too. That was the only time we would get to play a lot of area schools. Like teams would never schedule us.
Yeah.
But we'd play them for scrimmages. And so it was my chance to like trash talk my friends who went to those other schools that I knew. Yeah, like
no doubt.
It was fun.
This is all new to me. This is a lot of scrimmaging.
One commenter says, make sure you're set up at the substation. We will not be doing our radio show from the substation on Thursday. No.
Whoever's running that account on Twitter, by the way.
Oh, they're so funny, man.
It's good.
It's so good.
I'm actually shocked they don't have more content on there. Said somebody came back from an injury way too soon. It pretty much said, I'm a chump now.
Not on my watch. Anyway, we talked about this a little bit earlier this morning, and I think it's of interest with the Titans depth chart coming out. No surprise at wide receiver. The first three on the depth chart are Wan'Dale Robinson, Carnell Tate, and Calvin Ridley. Is there a world this season, Ramon, where Elikai Manor becomes a starter, taking Calvin Ridley's spot in that top three?
It could happen, yeah. It could. I just wonder how. Will it be? That's one of those positions, like wide receivers, to where anybody can be on the field at any point in time.
That's true. And just to say that wide receiver is a position, like there are different things that you ask those receivers to do.
Sure.
And Elikai Manor's skill set is very different from Calvin Ridley's. You're not going to ask those two guys to do the same thing.
No doubt about it. And like you can still start Calvin for 17 games and just watch his role be minimized through Elik's play. Like that's the point I feel like you were making earlier as opposed to I still think Calvin has the ability to make significant plays for this team, and I feel like the respect factor that Cam will have for him will always be there. It is a matter of, will Calvin stay healthy? Will Calvin catch the ball come in his direction? What does he look like in yak opportunities, yards after the catch, right? Like that's where Elik can kind of start separating himself if he's trying to become the starter as far as depth chart goes. You know, because the way it's kind of set up for Calvin, he's more out than he is in when it comes down to his contract and his team. Elik has more in his future than Calvin does in his. And you do want to be in a position where you kind of set this guy up like Elik. Like there's stuff that coaches have to do that gives the player the confidence to know that I'm in your corner. And it will be through, hey, routes or situational football. If you find Calvin off the field on a third and fourth situation more often than he is or more often than Elik is, like, that's where you'll start to see it. He could still be a starter, though.
6 catches for Elikai Manor on Friday. Not hurt. Continues to impress.
Mm-hmm.
I think Elikai Manor is wide receiver 3 for the Titans this year.
Already or eventually?
I think this season he will be wide receiver 3 as the dust settles on the entire season.
I think that's a pretty solid, statement.
I think he is moving into that kind of conversation.
If he keeps it up. Now, this is all Titans versus Titans.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like in game?
What does it look like tomorrow against the Niners? Yeah.
Like that's the other part of it to me when I mentioned the Calvin component. Like Calvin still has a air quotation mark threat to opposing defenses as it stands. Nobody really knows Elik just yet. And that's where Elik's reps, catches, and big moments, if he continue to have them, will raise up a little bit more.
You made the point about if you were going up against your old coach, you would be thinking, I bet he's told them all of my weaknesses. Like, does that happen?
Yeah.
For a joint practice?
I would say so.
Interesting.
You say, man, this guy right here, he can't move. I promise you hit him with this move and that move, you'll beat him. Or even the former teammates, exposing, man, I'm telling you, he's not good against this move. I don't think the coaches will, per se, give, cheat tests and notes and stuff like that. And there's so much film in the NFL, you can't really hide much at all. But I would say this, there's probably a team in the 49ers that know who's an attitude guy on the Tennessee Titans. Or you look at Coach Saleh and be like, hey, as far as schematically, let's attack this position if we want to run this play. Those little small things. I don't think they're trying to set their guys up for success because a lot of training camp is, how can I put you in the worst position and make sure that you come out of it successful?
It's going to be interesting.
Or if you get beat by somebody you're not supposed to. Saleh look at him like he got beat by him. It's that type of stuff that coaches will review.
Sure.
I'm not sure if he's up for the task. As we're speaking about Carmona and Cordell Volson, right? If they get beat by a guy that Saleh doesn't think much of internally in the coach's team meeting rooms, that's where you kind of start moving guys up and down depth charts. Just a hypothetical.
So I want you to tell me if the assumption I'm making is true or not. I feel like the defense, about a week or two into camp, takes another step forward because when you hear audibles and checks and things that Cam says at the line, the defense can make corresponding moves. Like yesterday, I'm watching Cam make checks at the line, and you could hear very confidently defensive players like, hey, this is coming.
Yeah.
Is that true, or you feel like as a camp goes, you learn on your team, like the Titans offense knows the adjustments the Titans defense is making and vice versa?
Yeah. That's the first step of getting better and becoming a better pro.
So how much different then will the calls and the checks be for the Niners? Like, for instance, when Cam Ward right now steps up to Austin Schlottman and says certain words, the defense probably knows what's coming.
No doubt.
That is kind of taken away when you practice somebody that's not your team, right? Like that's part of the intrigue of joint practice of a preseason game is that when you make audibles and checks and adjustments, the other team maybe isn't as familiar with what you're doing. Is that true?
That's true, but here's also the other side of it. The league works on the same language for the most part, just different words. Like I can say four, you say four, right? Like I understand what you're getting at. Like, and here's the part where you hearing everyday language from your own team helps you. Our word's gonna always be right. L word's going to always be love. If you mention something that sounds like it's a hammer, or let's say we go Camaro, it's probably a run or a deep pass, right? If I hear something that's Siberia, Russia, Iceland, it's probably cold, hard count. It's coming on those moments right there. I can pick up those things right there. Hey, Ringo. Like, I know all of those types of things. You see a quarterback signaling certain stuff or putting his hand down on the ground. Like, that's the separator as far as growing to the next level. Like, getting to the line of scrimmage, surveying, what's my box look like? Okay, where's our strength as a defense at? That's how I know what they're going to do. If my linebacker's on the line of scrimmage and I hear an audible, we got him. There's something that we could do because we're not actually going to be in this, which is the best part that you bring up from this past weekend, or both of our points was Cam's milking the clock or the shot clock down. The play clock is being walked down.
Like at the line.
At the line of scrimmage.
Last year it was being milked in the huddle.
Exactly.
Because their play calls were so long, it felt like they weren't breaking the huddle until 12, which didn't give Cam very much time to undress the defense.
See the defense,
to understand how to attack their weaknesses. You are seeing Cam make more successful and accurate and intelligent checks at the line of scrimmage, partly because he has more time to. This isn't a hurry-up offense. They're not running no huddle.
Right.
But they're huddling and getting out of the huddle more quickly.
And a lot of people are going to be probably tired of seeing Tony Pollard or one of the running backs motion out real quick, but that's what they're trying. Who's in man, who's in zone?
Man zone declaration.
Man zone declaration. Like, is Cody running?
Smiling.
If it's Tajay versus Cody, it's like, we kind of like this matchup right here. But also it's one of them things, too, to where it just clears up for the O-line if you can move him outside of the box, and protection-wise, too. Well, that's his guy.
Right.
Or wide receiver purposes. Like, there's so much that kind of – this is what I'm getting at to your original.
Yeah.
Most teams have their own language, but the understanding is the same across all 32 teams.
I think that's really good insight, because I'm watching practice yesterday, and I'm like, by this point in camp, Cody Barton knows exactly what Cam's saying. But also – most teams have a general knowledge when you play against them, when there's checks being made at the line, what the quarterback is trying to do, at least.
Mm-hmm. Like I heard with Peyton Manning, like Omaha had a lot of different meanings.
Right, and you hear stories, too, of they would go to the huddle and then totally change the checks for what a go route was, mid-game.
Yeah, dummy calls,
That's where Peyton was truly elite.
Yeah, and all you want to do is get one hard count, see who's dropping, watch the feet. D-line, give a quick twitch. Yeah, he's slanting inside. There's a lot of manipulation that happens at the line of scrimmage, especially when you have a quarterback in the offense, or at least a quarterback in the center that are on the same page that know how to delegate it. That's what Sloatman was telling us last week.
Coming up as we wrap up the show, Nashville SC with a W last night. Tell you what happened and who returned for the boys in gold after this.
when you start noticing cracks in the walls, uneven floors, or driveway sinking and separating, it's more than a home issue. It's a peace of mind issue. That's why who you choose for foundation repair, concrete leveling, it really matters. I trust United Structural Systems because they've been doing this the right way since 1994, right here in Tennessee. And USS, they don't believe in quick fixes or scare tactics at all. They take the time to inspect, explain what is happening, and walk you through real proven solutions that are built to last. Whether your home needs foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, or concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, or driveways, USS uses engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not temporary patches. USS, they're offering several payment options for you to make your foundation repairs more affordable. You can choose one of the following, where you can get 10% discount when you pay in full, or fix it now, pay it later with 18 months, no interest, no payments, or you can choose the 36 months, no interest with low payment options for qualified homeowners. USS, they're dedicated to helping their customers get the repairs they need now to protect their greatest investment for a lifetime, and that is your home. They're dependable, they're trustworthy, they're USS. So give them a call or learn more by heading over to USSTN.com.
Wrap it up your Monday morning, Ramon and Will. Ramon is off to San Fran. Have a good trip today. Enjoy.
Try to knock this thing out,
Be
Will.
boots on the ground journalism, sports entertainer, as you call it, tomorrow.
I know. I'll be trying to make sure I have my notes ready for tomorrow so that we can go through some stuff, man. See the players compete, man.
We will preview joint practice tomorrow, and then you and Brad Hopkins will be our literal boots on the ground journalists, sending me voice memos that we can play on Wednesday.
No doubt it'd be good. I end up getting a new DJI mic as well.
Nice.
So hopefully the clarity is pretty good. Although our app has been really good as well.
It has been
using,
good,
man.
It has been good.
Well, yeah, that's one thing you want the quality to stay up.
Last night, Nashville SC beat Atlético de San Luis of Liga MX 4-1. After trailing 1-0, they score 4 unanswered, including a brace from Christian Espinoza, who made his return last night. Good to see him back out there. Good to see Hani Mukhtar, new father of 2. Hani Mukhtar, congratulations to him and his wife Ashley on the birth of their second. Their first boy, Malik Mukhtar, who was born.
Hey.
And they looked really good. Good bounce back from a loss to Leon in the midweek. And Nashville SC enters a really big week. They have a mountain to climb in Leagues Cup. In order to advance, you've got to be one of the top 4 teams at MLS in Leagues Cup through 3 matches to advance. And so they need a win over Monterrey on Wednesday, and they need help. They also have a guy named Lionel Messi who is going to come to town on Saturday and enter Miami, a battle of first versus second in MLS. So I'm interested to see how BJ Callahan will manage the minutes over the next 2 games. But Christian Espinoza played out of position last night and scored twice. Wow. He played as a second striker next to Sam Surridge. Great ball from Elias Saad, the new left winger, who found him for his first, and then a free kick at the end of the first half gave Nashville a 3-1 lead. That San Luis team is not bad. A mid to bottom tier team in Mexico is still really good. And so you beat anybody by 3 goals. That is a Liga MX squad, and you had a good night at the office. And that is certainly what last night was for the boys in gold. So
That's right.
Still a lot of work to do. It is going to be difficult to advance on Wednesday against Monterrey. We'll talk a little bit about that when that game comes, because that's a really big one, and that's a really big test, regardless of whether or not Nashville can advance or not. And Monterrey still can advance, but I think the headline is just that Nashville looked like Nashville SC before the World Cup yesterday as they got Christian Espinoza back healthy.
I'm trying to decide if I want to go Saturday. Will I be recovered enough?
You want to go Saturday. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be absolutely awesome. That is going to be a great atmosphere. I expect it to be close to, if not totally sold out. It's the 2 best teams at MLS, NSC and Enter Miami. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
How I want to spend my Saturday evening.
Watching Nashville beat the GOAT is how you want to watch your, your Saturday evening.
How much recovery will I get?
That's a good question. If you're doing a Friday night freshman football scrimmage after getting no sleep the way we are Thursday night, probably not a lot of recovery Friday. But the game's not till 7:30 Saturday night, so you got time. Back at it tomorrow morning. Ramon will be in San Fran. I will be here. We are dividing and conquering. We'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m.
But remember at all times, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot, baby.